Oh my God, I'm live. I'm live. I'm live. I'm live. I'm live. Good morning. Good evening, everybody. What does the Kim Sae-ron scandal, Suga, and NewJeans, NJZ, whatever you want to call them, what do they all have in common? We're going to talk about the threads that weave these scandals all together, or combine them into a crazy monstrosity. Okay, so we're going to talk about how all these things correlate, because you may be thinking, what does these things have to do with each other? A lot, and I'm going to explain it. Hi, hola, cómo estás usted? Año, yo, ni hao, ni hao. Um, hello. Guten Tag to everybody internationally. My name is Nomadic Kitty. Welcome to my channel. I do a weekly live stream where I talk mostly about K-pop. I'm not a K-drama girl, but there have been some things in the news regarding a K-drama actress by the name of Kim Sae-ron, and so we're going to talk about her. I usually do a live stream either Friday nights, Saturday nights, or Sunday nights, just depending on when I have time. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel, and you just keep up. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize. I just, Jesus Christ. I apologize. I apologize. My notifications are going off. So I apologize, y'all. My ringtones are still up. Anyway, there we go. I had to adjust it. I apologize. But anyway, so we're just gonna get right into it. I don't know how many people are gonna be on this live stream because YouTube has been tripping, with my live streams lately. But we're just gonna see what happens with who's gonna show up for the live stream. I'm trying to fix my camera. Okay, trying to fix my ring light and everything else, girl. But anyway, we just have a conversation here. Like I said, I just have some questions. Now, the Kim Sae-ron thing has been on my mind for a whole week. This has been going on for a whole week. Okay, y'all. So this has really been a thing that's been going on for a couple of weeks now. I mean, if you really want to go back, you can go back. So who is Kim Sae-ron? If you don't know Kim Sae-ron, she is a Korean, or she was, may she rest in peace. She's passed. She was a 24-year-old Korean actress. She got her start as a 9-year-old child. She starred in this really well-known like action Korean movie. Like if you know the movie, I like I said, I don't know the name of the movie. I'm not into K-dramas, but I knew who Kim Sae-ron was, and we're gonna get into how I knew who she was. So Kim Sae-ron was a 9-year-old actress, okay, in Korea. That's how she got her start. And the role that she played was very like highly emotional. So if you ever seen the movie like The Professional with Natalie Portman in it, like that kind of role, because Natalie Portman started out as a child actress as well. And so if you are familiar with the American movie The Professional, then you will kind of see and know what I'm talking about. Okay. So, so the role that she did was very like highly charged. It was very, adult like, but she was 9 years old. And so she went on, that role catapulted her career. Okay. She was she was acting next to a famous actor named Woon Bin. I think that's his name. Like I said, so she was an actress. She was getting roles and stuff like that since she was 9. She kind of grew up, being in the acting scene or genre or whatever, right? Okay, so right around 2022 is when she left. I don't know where she was going, but it was early in the morning, and she had a DUI. She had left someplace. I don't remember where. She drove. She hit like this transformers. A transformer is this big thing that powers like a block or a building. And so they have video of it. You can look it up online, where she was driving and she hit the transformer. and she damaged her car. She hit the transformer. The electricity went out in the neighborhood. The people saw it. They called the police. Electricity went out in the neighborhood. And she tried, it looks like she tried to back up. I watched the video. You can watch the video online. It looks like she tried to back up. And then she was obviously inebriated. Okay. So she was drunk. And she admitted what she did. She admitted, everything that went on. That's how I knew who she was. In 2022, I was just getting into K-pop. I've told the story before. That was my introduction into K-pop. But I'd watched K-dramas before. So I was familiar with Kim Sae-ron, but I wasn't a fan of hers. So I remember when she got when that drunk driving incident, because it even made news here. But also at that time, I subscribed to K-pop and Korean gossip sites on YouTube, and they were talking about it. So it was a big scandal because she was DUI, and I guess in Korea, I've said it before, Korea, there are things about Korean culture that I do not like. There are things about Korean culture that I love, that I always tell you people about different matters in Korean history and Korean culture, which I very much love. But there are things in Korean culture, Korean media. I've made many a video about Korean media that I do not like. And I understand Korean being a conservative culture. People are like, oh, well, there's plenty of countries around the world that have conservative culture. Korea is not the only place that has a conservative culture. So that really isn't the issue. That really isn't my gripe. I'm not a conservative person. If they want to have a conservative culture, there's things regarding that I've done videos about the 4B movement. You can check out my playlist. There's videos I've done about Korean dating that I particularly go for. There are things about wage discrepancies, toxic masculinity in every country, not just Korea, but this is what we're talking about today. So I'm not saying Korea is all roses, and then I'm not saying that Korea is like the only place where these things go on, because there are other countries where these things go on. So it is a big deal having DUI. Again, like I said in my Suga videos, if you look at my K-pop playlist, I didn't understand, why. I understand why DUI, but she didn't hit nobody. She didn't hurt nobody. She hit the transformer. It shut down electricity. So she had to pay damages. She apologized. She did the walk of shame. She apologized to her fans, reporters, and everything like that. Okay. In America, not trying to flex about America, because I know damn well I could do whole playlists of video about how things in America are screwed up. But when somebody has a DUI, especially she's being like, I think at the time she was 22 years old. So this is 2022. So I think she was like 21 at the time. Korea has a high drinking culture. They have a drinking culture. Drinking culture in Korea, look it up. Koreans socialize with drinking. That's what it means, a drinking culture. Socialization is intertwined with alcohol. And that sometimes has led to overly excessive drinking, DWIs, stuff like that. It has led to a lot of people using alcohol, or not a lot of people, but various people using alcohol as a way to cope with problems. But socialization, whether it be at work, whether it be with your family, whether it be with your friends, your schoolmates, or whatever, is ingrained in Korea's culture from a long time ago. Like, this wasn't something recently. This has been around for a long time. And they're not the only culture that has a drinking culture. My late husband is from the Czech Republic, which I haven't really talked about a lot. But my late husband, there's countries in Europe that have a drinking culture. The Czech Republic has a drinking culture. Poland has a drinking culture. So it's not like they're the only country with a drinking culture. However, I've noticed that while the Czech Republic and Poland and Germany, these are places that I know more about, in their drinking culture, yeah, they have laws against DUIs. It's not a social stigma. So there's a difference between having a drinking culture and then having a social stigma on top of it. It leaves this tangled weave of insanity. So not only do you have a culture where you're expected to go out with your boss and go out with your coworkers and people to drink, no matter what industry you're in. But then on top of that, if you get caught drinking, or if you're out there sloppy ass drunk falling down somewhere, then people are going to make fun of you, and then you could possibly lose your job. Do you understand how the dichotomy of that is insane? Korea is a country of stark contradictions. And it's like, we want you to drink, but We want you to do it behind closed doors. And then we don't want you all out sloppy drunk. And then we don't want you out here DUIs, of course, hurting people and hurting yourself. But then when you do, there's no path to redemption. So I don't understand that, because there's DUIs, DWIs happen everywhere. Happen in America, they happen in Germany. Like I said, Poland, Germany, Poland, Czech Republic, the home of where beer was created. Beer was created in these countries. These the European countries are the kings of beer and wine. Like, they invented this shit. They like to drink. People in Russia, my ancestors are Russian. Господиня. My ancestors are Russian, right? God knows, Miss Kiki love her vodka. I'm not a drinker, but I do like my vodka, right? So, like, Russia has a drinking culture, like at an early age, like, like they're legal age of drinking, but people start drinking at a kind of an early age. So it's not totally like out of the norm for people to get into wrecks and stuff like that. Because it happens. People get sloppy toppy, people get reckless. But on top of that, what's different in Eastern European countries, there's not a social stigma behind it. It's not like you're going to lose your whole life because you got a DWI and you're some Russian actress. That really doesn't happen. You don't really hear about that in other countries because it happens. Even in the UK, they have the UK, the home of pubs. There's pubs everywhere in the UK. Europeans like to drink. They like to get their MF and drink on, okay? They like to make it. They like to distill it. They have a bunch of pubs, bunch of bars. So does Korea. Korea has a bunch of bars and places to drink and people, nothing different than any place else. So I'm not trying to slam the Koreans for drinking. I'm not a teetotaler. I'm not a drink. I don't drink a lot, but I'm not trying to slam them. However, the social stigma behind it is what I find crazy. It's a bit crazy. If you have a drinking culture, it should be automatically known that some people are going to get sloppy toppy. And some people, you may have to take them home. And, it's just like I said, they want you to participate in the drinking culture, but just don't be out there embarrassing yourself and then you're going to ruin your whole life. So this Kim Sae-ron went out, hit this transformer. She apologized. She had to pay what would be equivalent in USD, like $400,000 or $500,000 in USD. So she was an actress that belonged to a agency, like most K-idols and actresses, they belong to an agency, which is like a media company. So she belonged to this company called Gold Medalist. Okay. And I barely even heard of this company. So when you're an actor, you sign like especially in Korea. In America, it's very different. But I'm not going to get into entertainment law because I'm not an entertainment lawyer. But in Korea, they sign these contracts with these media companies, right? Like their agency. So one of the clauses is a liability clause and sometimes an insurance clause. So they can get insured to work on movies sets just in case they get hurt or something. They have that in America too. They have liability clauses. So one of the things was that, like, whenever she hit that transformer thing, her agency, there's a whole legalese behind it, like paid the city and the businesses, they lost business because of that. They were going to go after her and sue her. She apologized to all the businesses and all of that. But the agency paid the money, and then she in turn would pay the agency back. $500,000, y'all. It's not like, it's like millions upon millions. $500,000. So you would think, like, she's been acting since she was a kid. You would think that, she would have money saved up, but we're going to come back to that. So I'm just giving you an overview of what happened to Kim Sae-ron. So as time went on, the public horrifically ridiculed her. What's getting left out of the conversation is the things that were said about Kim Sae-ron online. So I'm going to tell you just off the cuff, when I looked up some of the things that people are just like they're like, oh, poor Kim Sae-ron. Just like the rest of the K-drama and the K-actors and the K-idols that have ended their own lives. Not everybody's like, oh my God, this is so tragic. It is tragic what happened to her. However, I read the things that were said about her online. They called her a drunk. They called her an embarrassment. They called her a washed up has-been. They called her all kinds of horrible, horrible things. They called this poor lady everything but a child of God. I mean, really. So, because it was such an embarrassment, she couldn't get gigs. She couldn't get jobs. She couldn't get a commercial. She couldn't get nothing. So she basically had to go, like, I believe she lost her apartment, had to go move in with her sister. A bunch of things happen financially when she's not bringing in money, okay? So she could not book gigs because she pretty much became a pariah in the acting community. Even though she apologized. So even though she was trying to pay it back. So because she couldn't get any acting gigs, she had to go work at a cafe. She had to work at restaurants, cafes. She worked, they were saying she was working hard, trying to pay back this debt. I don't know what kind of payment arrangement she had, but she was trying to work her way back. Girl was trying to work. So she went to go stay with her sister. And a lot of neighbors say that she cried all the time and, you know, she was upset or whatever, whatever, whatever. So again, I'm giving a brief overview. So she was trying to claw her way back and making a comeback. So she was booking gigs here and there through her agency, but her agency wasn't paying her, which is understandable because she owed the agency for money, which I understand, which we're going to get into the agency in a minute. So I can understand people harping that she booked gigs and she didn't get paid. Well, if you owe the company money, most likely you're probably not going to get paid. The money that you're working is going to go back to the company. So I could see why that happened. So she's trying to make a comeback, and then it just seems like, again, just literal facts that she was trying to make a comeback, and things, people were not very forgiving. Okay. So, you know, I can't speak for her. I don't think she left a note whenever she took her life, but in February she took her life, right? Right. So she took her life. And people can speculate. I'm not going to speculate why this lady took her life, but she's not the first K actress to take their lives. She's not the first person to be hounded online mercilessly, and not being able to make a livelihood is a huge, huge problem in South Korea. It's not like she could just be like, okay, I'm finna pivot and go get a job being a scriptwriter or director. If you're blacklisted from the industry and people are afraid to work with you because they are afraid to be ridiculed as well, people are not going to quickly line up and take up for you if a scandal like this happens. People are really not just going to line up. Internationally, they may be. She has no ties that we know of. You know, she hasn't worked in movies internationally or anything like that. So that is pretty much in a nutshell the sad life of Kim Sae-ron. Now, again, I'm not a fan of hers. I'm not a fan of hers. I don't have anything against her. I knew about her because of the DUI thing, because that came up in the news. It was making the rounds and everybody was talking about it. And some people were just reporting it, but some people was kind of like, and then she would go online and people would make fun of her online. Like they would bully her online mercilessly. So unfortunately, this poor girl took her life. Okay, so that's in a nutshell. So to make a long story short, in the past week and a half, her parents or her aunt, which they're saying that is not her biological aunt, maybe a family friend, maybe her mother's best friend, whoever, has went to a YouTuber or a content creator and said that Kim Sae-ron was in this relationship with another actor. Okay, I'm gonna get my computer. It was in a relationship with another actor. Let me preface this by saying, before y'all accuse me, I like K-dramas, but I like specific ones. Like, I like K-dramas where there's some kind of supernatural element. So I had never heard of this actor. I don't know this actor. I don't watch romantic K-dramas. I love K-dramas. I watch stuff like The Train to Busan, Kingdom, Sweet Home. Y'all get the idea. Those are the kind of K-dramas I like. They got to have some kind of supernatural angle to it. Or it has to be in the Joseon area. Like I like, there's a movie called like My Queen. What was it? The King. Like I like the Attorney Woo. I like that one. It's like so I'm not familiar with this actor. So it turns out that this actor supposedly is a really big actor. And again, I'm not familiar with his work. So, because when you get online and you start talking about real facts, people accuse you of being some kind of fangirl. I don't know these people. it's inconsequential to me what these people do. But his name is Kim Soo-young. Okay, he is an actor. He's born in 1988, February 16th, which coincidentally, February 16th is also the day that Kim Sae-ron decided to end her life. So he is an actor, okay? And he also had brand deals and stuff like that. Okay. They said he was one of the highest paid actors in 2020. He's won 5 Big Song Art Awards, 2 Grand Bell Awards, a Blue Dragon Film Award. He's been featured in Forbes and everything like this. I've never heard of this dude. Again, the kind of K-dramas, I looked up the stuff that he has starred in, movies and TV shows. The Thieves, Real. These are all stuff that I don't watch. This is Miss Granny. So he's been acting, I believe, since 2012, I believe. I don't watch the romantic K-drama. So like I said, I wasn't familiar with this actor or whatever. Well, it turns out she had put hints online, Kim Sae-ron, before she passed away, that she was dating this dude, and people made fun of her because people were like, "You're not dating him. They call her delusional." And so apparently she's been throwing hints on her social media for a while that she was dating this guy. And so people just thought she was delusional. Well, it turned out she really was dating him, allegedly. Allegedly, according to the parents or the aunt or whoever, they said that Kim Sae-ron and this Kim Soo-young were dating. First of all, I'm like, okay, who cares? When I first heard this, I'm like, okay, all right. But then people talked about the age difference. So the parents are so first Kim Soo-young, who coincidentally owns or started Gold Medalist Agency, okay? Back in, I believe, 2019 or 2020, he started his own agency. And we're going to come back to that. And Gold Medalist is the same agency that Kim Sae-ron was a part of. So apparently this dude, his agency or him released a statement saying that they weren't romantically together, which I understand why he would say that. Because, of course he would say that. Hello, Natalie. What's up, Natalie? Natalie. But of course he would say that because he doesn't want to admit, because you can't, be in a relationship with Korea, because that's just a no-no. But then the parents released, I guess, a photo of them together. And again, I went to law school. I've seen the photo. The photo is on my thumbnail. Supposedly, Dispatch got a hold of it. The big Korean gossip is Dispatch, and they got a hold of this story. So the parents supposedly released a photo of him kissing her on the cheek. First of all, I'm looking at the photo going, and she supposedly, the bombshell drop was that supposedly Kim Sae-ron started dating this guy. It's just liar and hater. Supposedly Kim, I agree. This story is so convoluted. So supposedly Kim Sae-ron started dating this dude when she was 16. Again, I'm like, okay, according to who? Like, I'm looking at this picture and I'm like, I can't tell if she's 16 or 18. I'm supposed to take the parents' word for it. And I'm not. I'm not going to take the parents' word for it. So I'm just supposed to look at a picture and be like, yup. And then people were like talking about the glasses that he had on or something. And I'm like, I wear glasses. I'm like, I wear glasses. So the glasses were made in 2014. And I'm like, huh? Like, y'all, I need to see some metadata, which is going to be hard for them to prove. Then there was another picture released that supposedly he's cooking in the kitchen, and supposedly he had his boxers on, and people were like, oh my God. And I'm sitting there going, I know plenty of dudes he was doing dishes. I know plenty of dudes that do dishes butt naked. I'm like, what are we talking about? Because he was in his box. I was like, okay. I'm like, again, this story, every day is something unfold. And like I said, I'm not going to tell you the details of the story. If you want to know, go watch Soul Light TV. He's the only person that's reported this on that wasn't clickbait, that was trying just to report the facts. And it's going to be hard pressed for you to report the facts, because really it's just what the parents said against this dude. Basically everything, if you cut through all the BS, it's really their word against this dude. So now, so it dropped. They were scandalous. It's not going to be a scandal. It shouldn't be, because the age of consent in Korea as of 2019 is 13. Don't get mad at me because the age of consent is 13 in Korea. They changed it in 2020 to 16. Get mad at Asia. Japan, it was 13. There are other countries where the age of consent is 14, 15, 16, 13. Don't get mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger. So people are like, he need to go to jail. For what? In Korea, I looked it up, the age of consent laws. Now, if you are a minor that is being exploited, coerced in some sort of way, then yes, you can file statutory R-word charges, because that person is forcing that person to be with them. They're coercing them. They're exploiting them by using their pictures, likeness, having sexually suggestive things. That is against the law for somebody. But yes, in Korea, then some countries, let me go back. Some countries have age gaps, where if they're more than 5 years older or younger than the person, then it becomes a problem. They don't have that law in Korea. So yes, in Korea, right now, you could be 16 years old and dating a 27-year-old man. Do I agree with it? Take it up with Korea. But that's what the law states. So he can't go to jail for anything. Then there's something called a statute of limitations. They dated, she was 16 years old in 2019. I don't know what the statute of limitations in Korea is, but I know some countries have it where you can only prosecute within a certain amount of time. But again, there's nothing litigious, look it up, that I see personally, in my opinion. I'm not a lawyer, but I went to law school. There's nothing litigious as I'm looking up the laws and the conviction rates for statutory minors and all this stuff. The cases that I've seen, and I went and researched, what cases have people gone to jail? It's because they were using minors to do, they're being trafficked. Let me put it that way. I can say that. They're being trafficked. He didn't traffic her. He didn't offer her up to other men. He wasn't using her for money. He wasn't using her body for money, anything like that. According to everything, and even the parents, they were in a mutual relationship. So he can't go to jail. For what? Just because in our country, the age of consent is 18. Depending on the state. Now, depending on the state, you go to some states, it is 16. You go to some states, you can marry somebody 16 years old with parental consent in America right now. In certain states. In Texas, you were considered an adult. I don't know if they changed the law, but at the age of 17, you're considered an adult. You can be emancipated as a minor at 16. So the idea that people are talking about, he's going to get in trouble, I'm like, for what? What is this man getting in trouble for? That's number one. Number two, if you morally don't like this, if you're like, would I want my 16-year-old daughter to be with a 27-something-year-old man? Hell no. Why? No. That's another argument. Legal, moral, two different things. So now we're getting into the moral thing. So if you don't want to support Kim Soo-young, because again, he came back and said they started a relationship at 18, that she was not 16. Again, I need to see some proof. It's his words versus the family's word. And in the middle, there's no proof. Thank you, Marsha Brown. It wasn't that long ago that people in the United States were marrying kids off at 13. Again, I go by facts, not my feelings. If people don't want to support this actor because they morally have a problem with it, that's their right. But to sit up here and be like, he need to be punished for what? And then the parents, and so I think to myself, so what do the parents want? The parents are like, oh, we just wanted him to admit what he did wrong and apologize. Bitch, what? Couldn't you have contacted this man through a lawyer and been like, we need to talk about the relationship you have with my daughter, and he could apologize that way? Bullshit. These people, in my opinion, want money. So now they've sued a YouTuber or a vlogger. Why? I'm not quite understanding. And believe me, I went back and watched videos and read, and I just don't understand. They want him to admit that he did what? He did what? I'm like, they want to apologize. For what? So now people are in comment section just making up wild shit. Well, they were probably together and he broke her heart and he cheated on her and that's why she took her life. What? We don't know the nature of their relationship. It said that they were together for 6 years. That's all we can go by. She's not here to defend herself. So Kim Sae-ron can't say nothing. You said Marsha Brown said, yes, ma'am, money hungry. These people are the fact that the people. So then, okay, recently, let me get the kicker that set me off yesterday. And I said, I need to stop reading the story. So now there's a lawyer that released a tape where it supposedly is Kim Sae-ron and she's talking to an agency or something, saying that she was with another man, married or possibly married or with another dude who either lives in America or from America, or he went back to America, and supposedly she had at least one abortion. So there's a tape. There's not a videotape, but an audio tape. These people online are like, oh, it's fake. Okay, so the parents released pictures of Kim Sae-ron and Kim Soo-young, and those pictures are real. But then when they released the audio tape, which sounds like her on audio, talking about she was with another man and possibly had an abortion. Oh, well, it's fake. It's fake. Come on now. I'm not saying the audio tape is real or fake. It could be fake. There's AI. You can do it in the same thing you can do with pictures. You can Photoshop anything. They can't prove that them pictures happened when she was. So the parents are online threatening to release videos and release, which brings me back to my whole entire point. The question that I have to ask, I got some questions. Question number one, if your child decided to take his or her life, would you be putting their business out in the street like this? I'm asking for a friend. I have lost my mother, I've lost my mother-in-law, and I've lost my husband. Why in the hell would I feel like, you know what I need to do? I'm grieving. Let me get on here and talk about they social life and they sex life. Let me start posting pictures. It's not going to bring her back. She's gone. And then the parents are like, well, we're doing this because we want to restore her reputation. Nobody even knew she was dating this dude until they said something. Restore, and I can't believe people are buying this. I'm like, and y'all are taking up the parents for what? I don't believe them damn parents. I don't believe him. I don't believe the parents. And I have a big side eye to the parents because that's their child. Why would I get up here and further exploit my child? Why? So my question always been, why would they do this? And they're like, well, we just need him to apologize and just admit what he did. Admit what he did what? And then the people are like, and then let me get to the other caveat, because I'm a mother of teenager. I have a teenager. I understand the movie industry and the entertainment industry is different than like dealing with regular people. But from somebody who I've said before, and I've said ad nauseum, that I have family members in the music industry and entertainment industry. Okay. And I understand things a little bit different, but there's no way in hell a 27-year-old should be friends with a 15-year-old. This is not 30 years ago where we live in the dark ages. This wasn't that long ago. So we're talking about like 2016, 2017, around that time. You mean the parents didn't know that they were talking? Marsha said their parents' cash cow is gone. I would never do that to my children. I don't know how anybody could ever defend that. I don't know how anybody in their everlasting right mind can sit up here and twist their face to be like, oh, it's okay to put your child business out there. You're ruining your daughter's reputation by putting this shit out there. And people are just like, well, you know, the parents are grieving. The parents are grieving by putting their daughter's relationship out there in the news and then claim that they didn't know that they were dating. Get the fuck out of here. I don't believe that for one. I don't believe for 1 second, in my opinion, that the parents, if they were dating under the age, if she was dating this man under the age of 18, I do not believe the parents didn't know. I just don't. I can understand if you having a relationship with somebody you met at school or somebody in the neighborhood and you keeping a secret. But the people online are like, well, you know how teenagers keep secrets? How were they having a relationship? And then on top of that, it's the nature of, if they were having a relationship, what was the nature of this relationship? Because just because they were boyfriend and girlfriend don't mean that they were knocking the boots, Gina. Okay? They didn't mean that they were intimate. He went to the military. He was supposedly allegedly messaging her in the military. Again, who said he was messaging her in the military? The parents. Where's the proof? I can't just be like, well, he was messaging her. Who says who? The parents? Okay, I don't believe y'all. Not how patriarchal Korea is. The parents knew. I don't believe it. I just don't. I don't believe it. I don't believe the parents didn't know. Oh, that's my opinion. I don't believe the parents didn't know. You mean to tell me that your daughter is dating one of the most famous, wealthy, supposed actors in Korea, and you didn't know that she was talking to this guy? And then if they had a relationship, how would she even see this guy? You know, how would she even see him? Not like she could drive. She's 15. So how were they seeing each other? Were they seeing each other? And what kind of what kind of nature of the relationship was it? Again, if it's a relationship where they're going on cute dates and they're holding hands and they're, text messaging each other and they're not intimate, then I'm like, okay, it may have been one of those relationships. And then people, like I said, are going online and wildly making up shit. Well, he broke her heart, and that's why so now we're blaming him on the fact that she took her life. Well, she did it on her birthday. Look, she was mercilessly bullied online. I'm sure that probably had a lot to do with it. And so I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it with my whole, wait a minute. I'm going to say it with my whole entire chest right now. I'm going to say it with my whole chest. If Kim Sae-ron was allowed to have a DUI, make her mistake, got another job, paid her debt off, not been bullied online, not been called names online, do y'all really think she would have offed herself because of the relationship with this dude? I don't believe it. I have no way of backing this up and proving it, but I don't believe it. She would have moved on with her life. She was a beautiful girl. Seemed like a sweet girl. She would have moved on with her fucking life. She wasn't allowed to move on in her life. She wasn't allowed. And then people are like, well, he didn't go to the funeral. They broke up. Apparently they broke up in like 2020. They weren't even together anymore. My ex could die right now and I wouldn't go to his fucking funeral. Y'all kidding? Y'all playing with me today? I don't expect my ex to be at my funeral. We didn't even break up that long ago. Y'all playing. And then the situation with the money, because the agency is the one that paid her debt. And so they sent her a letter in 2024 saying that you owe this debt. And then they released a text message where she sent him a text telling that she needed more time. And she was like, please give me more time. And that was all heartbreaking and sad, but she owed that money. Nobody told her to get a DUI and hit the transformer. I'm not trying to drag her, but you have to take responsibility for what you do as an adult. And I don't think she was up here blaming anybody for what happened. She was drunk. She hit the thing. She needed to pay for it. The agency paid it, so she needed to pay agent back. But the reason why she was struggling to pay the agency back and struggling so bad is because she couldn't support herself. Which goes to the other question that I have to ask. So she started acting when she was around 9, 10 years old. And then she had this DUI thing at 21. So, and she owed $500,000. That's quite a lot. My question is, where was her money? I'll wait for somebody to answer me. Where was her money? She had no money? So all the acting that she did when she was a kid until she an adult, she didn't have no money. Her parents didn't set aside no money for her. Where was Kim Sae-ron's money? She had no money. Cancel culture is real. Koreans are and have been bullying her, bullying their idols to death. They have. And they're going to end up bullying yet another one. So, yeah, my question is, where was her money? And what was Kim Sae-ron supposed to do? So the same thing about Kim Soo-hyun. So are people going to be happy if he go out and take his life? Then what? We're going to blame it on the parents, or we're going to blame it on a YouTuber vlog? Like, who are we going to blame it on? Because they seem somehow want to pin this woman's tragic demise on this man. They were broken up. If she was upset over the relationship, even if he cheated on her, let's say he did cheat on her, he did her dirty, he used her. Guess what? It happens. People have marriages and relationships, and they marry people who are not nice, who aren't good people. Relationships end, people break up. If she could not handle it emotionally and everything was caving in on her, then she should have sought some help. She should have got some mental help. People owe debts. People do things, that they regret as young people. But the fact of the matter is, my question is, so what was Kim Sae-ron what was she supposed to do? Because these fools wouldn't forgive her. They just kept on and on and on. What was she? So Kim So-young, let's say he get up there and be like, yeah, I dated her. She was 15, 16 years old. Yeah, like we didn't have a good relationship. If he comes out and says all of this, same thing with Suga. I'm like, now what? Now what? Are y'all going to give back his fucking endorsement deals back? Are y'all going to give that back to him? Can he go live his fucking life if he comes out here and admit that? Because he can't go to jail. He didn't commit a crime. So if he comes out and admit that he was with her at that particular age and they were dated for 6 years and he was a bastard and he cheated on her and he lied to her and then what? Then what, Korea? Then what? Can he have his life back? No, he's not. Which brings me to Suga. So Suga had his scooter incident. We all know I done did videos and talked about this ad nauseum. Suga apologized. He paid his fine. He got his license revoked. The fake ass fucking video that came up, the fake ass video that they tried it out there that it was Suga and it wasn't. And so my question is, what? Same thing I said before. Y'all tell me what Suga's supposed to do to get forgiven. Leave BTS? Jump off a fucking bridge? What is he supposed to do? Because they're not happy when you admit that you do something wrong. So if I was Kim Soo-young, I would be suing every motherfucker online and I would deny. I ain't saying no shit about this bullshit no more. I ain't saying nothing else. I ain't got nothing else to say to none of y'all about this bullshit. I ain't got nothing else to say. Talk to my lawyer. That's what y'all can do. Because the public is not going to forgive you. I ask people, so what do you want? Well, he did this and he did that, and he's the reason why she offed herself. Okay, let's say he is. Now what? Then what? It's like the dog that chases after the car. Once you catch the car, once the dog chases and he runs after the car, and then the dog catches the car, then what? Then like, what? Well, I don't really. I ask people online all the time. Okay, so if he comes out admitted, then are y'all gonna forgive him and move the fuck on? No, you won't. His career is now perpetually ruined. So another celebrity that's potentially gonna fucking off themselves. Then everybody gonna be like, oh my God, I can't believe he took his life. Because y'all are making up shit that don't give it time for the settle. The same thing with the Suga shit. I'm like, can we just give it time? I don't know who to believe in this Kim Sae-ron family. Like I said, I just have questions. I don't understand why she didn't have no fucking money. By the time she got to be 18, 19 years old, she should have had a nest egg, something saved back. Number one. I don't understand who she dating or what she dating has to do with anything. Because again, the age of consent in Korea up until 2020 was 13. She didn't seem like she was exploited by him. She wasn't trafficked. She wasn't coerced. He didn't threaten her to be with him. None of these things happened so far that we know of. So what is he supposed to be prosecuted for exactly? So that's number two. Number three, you mean to tell me the parents didn't know? What was the nature of their relationship? We don't really know. It's up to the parents to tell us, because Kim Sae-ron is not here to defend or say about a relationship. She went to the grave and not say anything about a relationship. Why couldn't she just stay in the grave and everybody not know about a relationship? Why is it okay for the parents of anybody in any situation, Korean or not, for them to exploit their child like this? Why would you put your loved one's business out there? Do y'all know how many crackhead relatives that I have that have died over drug overdoses? Why would I go on Facebook and be like, here's my crackhead cousin. Look at them smoking the pipe here. Let me post this on Facebook real quick. What would be the need for me to do that? Everything has a reason. So anytime people do stuff like this, I'm thinking to myself, what is the reason why the parents would do this? Money. The parents are going to start suing. They're like, well, they just want him to apologize. No, the fuck they don't. Fuck out of here. No, they don't. If they want an apology, this is what you do. You go behind closed doors, you have a conversation with him and be like, we want an apology, and that's it. They want him to admit what he did so they can turn around and file a lawsuit. Don't y'all understand? Like, are people this dumb? I told myself in the comment section last week, I said, just get ready, because the lawsuits are fixing to fly. And boom, a couple of days ago, they didn't file a lawsuit. I said, oh, I know what this is about. This is about exploitation. Kim Sae-ron didn't have no money. She didn't have a pot to piss in. Apparently, supposedly, somebody paid for her funeral. They didn't even have enough money to pay for her fucking funeral. Get the hell out of here talking to me. They supposedly didn't have enough money to even pay for her funeral. And you mean to tell me that I'm supposed to believe the parents just because they're the parents? Well, you know, they're grieving. If you were grieving, you go sit your ass down somewhere. Because nothing's going to bring your daughter back. They bought this coin, in my opinion. Because everything has a reason. If they felt like he committed any kind of statutory crime, you take all of your evidence, you go to the police, and you present your evidence. Which brings me to NewJeans. Yeah, which brings me to NewJeans. Hello. Because they filed, injunction was filed in November. And the judge filed with the injunction saying that the contract is that everything has to go through a door. So whatever rebranding or whatever performance they got to do, it has to go through a door. Which basically, when they say go through a door, which means the door is going to get their cut. So a door is going to get their cut. It has to be approved through a door, and the door is going to get their cut. When they go perform in this convention, I believe it's this weekend that they were performing at the Complex Con in Hong Kong. A door let them do that, and they have to get their cut. So what does this have to do with NewJeans? The correlation with NewJeans is the same bullshit. The reason why I don't F with NewJeans. Same thing. Because NewJeans want to try this in a court of public opinion. And I don't like that. I don't like when people release statements and get online and be like, oh, well, this happened. Get back to work. Yes, people are that dumb. This is what happens when your child is the bread earner and they are taking care of all that. She had to be taking care of extended family. I'd say she had to. But again, if the parents wanted an apology, they could have got that behind closed doors. If the parents feel like that he did something unlawful with their child and it violates some kind of statute or something like that, or it's illegal, you go and present your evidence to a judge, to a lawyer. You go to the police station and saying, this is what we have, and you do that. I will never in my right mind, ever in my life, come on this channel and defend anybody taking their shit to the media. Period. When all that stuff popped off with Diddy in America, he was being investigated for RICO charges by the FBI and all kinds of things. But in America, if you're accusing somebody of something, the lawyer will tell you to shut the hell up. You don't go to the media and go to vloggers and bloggers and shows and release statements and release pictures on your Instagram channel. You don't do that here, because it will ruin your case. You file your case, you shut the fuck up. Just like KG from Vichin. I sat up here in the live stream and read the whole affidavit. KG has not said nothing. She's suing in a California court. She has not said anything. NewJeans just hooked themselves to the wrong horse. Yeah. And like I said, I will never on my channel be happy with anybody taking shit to the media. I don't believe in that. NewJeans up here doing press conferences and YouTube videos and on Instagram, and we're so, oh my God, we're so mistreated. Oh my God. Adore is so horrible. Oh my God. Can't you take it to court? Well, we want to take it to court, but we want to release statements. We want to just release statements. Shouldn't you be releasing statements to the court? Shouldn't you get a lawyer? Which they have filed lawsuits. But the posting shit on social media and you releasing statements on your Instagram. Why do y'all fucking think this shit is necessary? And I'm sorry for the profanity, y'all, but I get agitated because I'm like, this is not necessary. This remind me when you got a relative or a friend who are always on the internet posting bad shit. Every time they get in an argument with their boyfriend or girlfriend, they posting bad shit about them on Facebook. They putting up like messages talking about they don't like their man and posting like cryptic memes and shit. It's like them people. If you in a relationship, you can post pictures here and there, but keep that shit to yourself. If you are not happy with the man that you with or the woman that you with, maybe you need to talk to them and say that you're not happy instead of posting the shit on Facebook, instead of putting your business out there on Facebook. Again, I don't care what the parents are charging. It makes no sense to me for them to be doing all this because they quote unquote want a fucking apology. And if you're dumb enough to believe that, you're dumb. They could have went behind closed doors, got an apology. If they, like I said, legally, if they thought he violated some kind of law because she was underage, maybe they thought she was coerced. I don't know. But you gather your evidence and you file a case. You file a criminal or a civil case. That's what you do. You don't go to like this YouTuber and get on Instagram and have the supposedly aunt up there posting shit talking about, we're gonna release videos and shit if he don't apologize. You don't basically emotionally and manipulate and they're blackmailing this guy. For what is the point? That's my question. Again, if I was Kim Sae-ron, I wouldn't admit nothing. I would lawyer up and I would tell the parents to just bring it. I'm gonna sue the shit out of you. And everybody else who's gonna post some shit. I'm suing all y'all. Anybody act like you finna do stuff, I would pull a Hybe. And that's what Hybe did. Hybe been snatching them up. We're gonna snatch you up. We're gonna snatch you up. We're gonna snatch you up. Because they should be snatched up. All these people and all these videos I watched the whole week about them dragging this man. And I'm like, wait a minute. This is the same shit that they were doing to Suga. And the fact that I see armies out here doing the same thing, I'm like, y'all, I gotta know where this is going before I jump on a fucking side. And the same thing with Suga. Now look, I'm going to be honest with you and I'm going to keep it real. When it comes to BTS, I can't be that objectionable. And when it comes to Suga, I sure in the hell ain't objectionable. But if Suga did some real like low-key, like down low stuff, I would be the first person to be like, okay, I'm done with Suga. Like, we're done here. Like if he came out and essayed somebody and, did something like that, I'll be the first person to come on here and be like, okay, I'm done. I can't. I'm gonna take down my Suga phone. I'm just gonna throw it on the ground and be like, ah! Like I would start taking down my stuff. Like if BTS collectively would do something very like I considered just horrible, like they essayed somebody, they were picking up minors, something like that, I would be done with them. But when it comes to anybody, no matter who it is, I'm not gonna jump on the hate train Just because somebody's saying this person did this to my daughter and look, ooh, 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 ooh. Because I'll be like, well, why are you out here saying this shit? NewJeans says, yeah, NewJeans just, they played themselves. NewJeans, you played yourself. But all of these cases have something to do with a few things. Number one, the Korean media has hopped on this. And number two, I hate the way people start jumping to conclusions before all the facts have even came out. Like I said, I'm not siding with the parents. I'm not siding with this actor. I'm not siding with either one of these people. I need to see evidence. He said a relationship started with 18. To me, go with God. That's between him and her. That ain't got nothing to do with me. The relationship started at 18. That's between him and her. But they were already broken up by the time she lost her life. Was she upset about the breakup and what happened to her being bullied? We'll never know. I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, it was that, it wasn't that. Just to be honest with you, we don't know. She didn't leave a note, so we don't know. Did the parents know about the relationship? I believe so. Can a 16-year-old get away with dating a 27-year-old? Yeah, if you have negligent ass parents. Where's Kim Sae-ron's money? I want to know. What happened to all the money that she had? Why wasn't the parents saving the money? I've heard other things that I won't say here because, again, I'm not a gossip channel. But I've heard other things about the parents that I won't say. Just being in these Korean streets. I went went online and looked at Korean sites and looked to see what people were really saying. And I don't know whether to believe this or not. These may have been Kim Soo-young's fans. I don't know. I'm not a fan of his. But I've read things and I low-key seen things about the parents that I won't repeat. Because I don't know if these pictures are real. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if these supposedly relatives are real. I don't know. So, but there's things I could say about the parents that I've read and seen in Korea. In Korean that I won't say. But all I can do is ask the question. And it's a simple question. Where was her money at? Why is it that she didn't seem like she had no real support? I'm here to defend Kim Sae-ron. If the parents won't do it, the media won't do it, not these motherfuckers want to do it. Oh, poor Kim Sae-ron. Oh my God. Man, fuck out of here. Y'all were the same people online dragging her. Y'all the same people that went online and dragged Yoongi. Y'all the same people that called Suga a drunk, had fake sugar challenges. Y'all probably the same ass people. Y'all the same people making videos and posting shit saying that Suga was wrong and he needed to apologize, and he did all of that and more than he had to. And you fucking people drove Suga away. In my opinion, in my humble, honest opinion. I hope Suga's okay. I hope he's fine. But I'm angry at the netizens, the K-netizens, and I'm angry because I'm like, here we go again. People jumping to conclusions. And why do people want to dogpile on these people? Because in Korea, they want to take you down. People get gleeful taking this man down because he's a really popular, famous actor. And then people are online saying, this book, look, people are like, well, he had everybody fooled. Let me put my work computer down and just get with it. People online are saying, oh, well, Kim Soo-young had everybody fooled and we thought he was a good guy. Based on what? Based on what? The fact that he starred in some K-dramas as the romantic lead? Are y'all effing... Like, I read this over and over again. Well, he had everybody fooled. What do you mean he had everybody fooled? He's an actor acting a role in TV shows and movies. What do you mean he had everybody fooled? Fooled over what? That's not really him. I don't expect Lin Miho to be... I don't expect the Squid Game actor to be the same as his character. Well, he had everybody fooled, and I knew there was something up about. Guess what, y'all? Most of y'all K idol actors, actresses, idols, Some of them ain't good people. I know it's shocking for some of y'all to realize and wake up. Some of them are like real people. They have their own personalities and their own lives and their own flaws, just like the rest of us. He is not his characters. Just because he played romantic leads in heroes and movies, I don't expect him to act like that in real life. He may have been with Kim Sae-ron, and the parents are like, "Oh, well, he promised to marry her." Why would y'all say that? So y'all was okay and cool with him, with her dating this grown ass man because y'all thought they were gonna get married. Is that how it went? I'm asking a question. Why would you even bring that up in conversation? Why would you even fix to say that? But that's what they said. Well, he promised to marry her. So y'all are mad because he didn't marry her, or y'all mad at him because she was 16? Which one is it? Because it seems like they were more mad and upset that their relationship didn't work out and she didn't get the bag. Seems like they were more upset about that they didn't get married. But that happens. Relationships ends. People get cheated on. Guess what? Guess what, y'all? That's life. That's life. You're going to have relationships with people who are not going to be kind to you. Relationships are going to end. Well, she helped him with his agency. So what? Maybe she did. Their relationship ended. People have started businesses with husbands and wives and fathers. People have started businesses with their own relatives, and they have had a fallout. Talking about the BTS lose Suga, they lose a piece of their income. Yeah. Yeah, yes, Marsha, you live and learn. That's life, honey. That's life. She 20-something years old. She young. That's life. You mean to tell me that this dude is somehow obligated to help her? Why? I read, well, why didn't he give her the money? They weren't in a relationship. So what was he obligated to help her for? He's not obligated to help her. The agency paid the money. They wanted her to pay them back. But again, the letter they're talking about was sent in 2024. There was nothing sent after that. And then again, as somebody who works in accounting, I can tell you that legally speaking, in order for us to write off a debt, I have to send a letter saying that you owe the money. Like, you're going to send a letter, any accountant, any lawyer worth their merit, you're going to send a letter to the person that owes money you have to prove that you have to attempt to collect the debt. So that people are making this letter in 2024 out to be bigger than what it was. Like he was just like at her house, like ready to like beat her up because she didn't, like he was the mafia or something. Like if you don't give me this money, I mean, no. That's the problem I have. People are jumping to conclusions before the facts even come out. And like I said, this goes down to the NewJeans too. Everybody was on Min Hee-jin's side, and oh my God, Min Hee-jin, and oh my God, she was treated so bad. Now where these people at? Now they like, man, Min Hee-jin. Now they tired. Y'all tired of NewJeans. Now they tired of NewJeans. Now y'all tired. Now I read the comment sections in Korean. They against NewJeans. Now they like, well, NewJeans need to pay or they need to leave, and NewJeans need to fulfill their obligations, and they can't get in the contract, huh? Just like 3-4 months ago, y'all was on NewJeans side. Y'all was like, oh my God, y'all was low key bunnies. Not the bunnies. I'm talking about the general Korean population. But they was all on their side. Y'all was like, Min Hee-jin got up there and acted a fool in a press conference, put green shit all over her face, got up there and cussed and talk crazy, talk reckless. And these people last year around this time, y'all was all over Min Hee-jin. Y'all was like, yes, queen, yes, queen. Y'all was yes, queen in Min Hee-jin. Y'all was like, yeah, adore. They treating their artists bad. Yeah, they need to leave. Poor NewJeans. Y'all believe that shit. Now y'all like, oh, well, they just need to pay their money and leave, or they need to fulfill their obligation. What? All right. Like, okay, I guess that's, again, anybody who wants to try things in the court of public opinion in Korea or anywhere else, I don't support. I don't support people trolling the public. I don't support it from anybody. I don't support it in K-pop. I don't support it in Korea, America, anywhere. If you are filing lawsuits or you're upset with your company or another person, you file it in court, you take it behind closed doors, you do whatever you got to do, and you shut the hell up. KG from Vicha ain't said much about her court case with JYP. Have you seen her making YouTube videos every week talking about her court case and how horrible JYP was, and we still going on and on and on about it? NewJeans have gone on and on and on and on about this for months now. About they're not happy to be there. Yeah, we get it. Pay the money and leave. We get it. Pay the money and leave. But they don't want to pay the money either. So they just want to be let out of their contract without paying anything. Honey, that's not how life works. So whoever's advising them, their parents, Minhee Jin, their PR team, their lawyers, another company, whatever. Whoever's advising them, they need to stop. Because NewJeans then ran themselves into the ground. So best them gone over to the door, gone now. Gone. And shut the hell up. That's my thing. I just don't like when people all up on the internet complaining about shit. When I'm like, the company that you have a problem with, you sue. You do something legally. You do something in the law. That's what people do. If you have a problem with your relationship, you don't go to the internet and be like, I hate my man. Oh my God, he's terrible. He's cheating on me. Girl, you break up with that man and move on. Or y'all go behind, y'all work it out. But why does the need to, like, I got to go to social media and plead my case? That's why, like I said, Kim Sae-ron pants, the moment they were on social media posting these pictures, I'm like, that's all I need to know. That was all I needed to know. That was it for me. I was like, oh, this what we doing? Why would you do your daughter? Nah, man, I can't roll with that. No matter what Kim Soo-young is, I can't. If you feel like the man did something wrong, take it to court. Take it to the law. If you feel like you need to get some kind of damages, file a civil case. Take it to court. Going on the internet and posting things, no. NewJeans going on the internet and posting shit and complaining about a door every couple of weeks, no. No, you file a lawsuit and try to get out your contract. If you don't get out your contract, they can try to file an appeal with the injunction and all that. That's fine. That's their right. But I'm just saying that why can't we just make music and just do your thing and do your thing? Why does everything has to be like out here like this grandstanding? That's what I don't like about Korea. That's one thing I could say I don't like. People try things in the court of public opinion first to get the public on their side to try to sway the courts. That's really what happens. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. And like I said, with Suga, Kim Soo-hyun, they're in a no-win situation. Suga admit what he did was wrong. He paid his fine. His license got revoked. He wrote like multiple letters of apology. And you, not y'all. I know not y'all. But those netizens still drug him. So my question is for netizens, with Suga and Kim Soo-young, what does he have to do? What do these two people have to do to get forgiveness? Because it doesn't seem like they can do anything. It seems like Kim Soo-young is in a catch-22. He's lost endorsements. He's lost roles. So what? His career is ruined, and then what now? He's just supposed to stay with his fucking career ruined? I just don't understand what are they supposed to do. So, like I said, those three stories all are interwoven together in the fabric of Korean K-netizens in society. It is all about people jumping to conclusions. People jumped all over Adore. People jumped all over Suga. People jumped all over Kim Soo-young. They've jumped all over these three people for various reasons without knowing the full story yet. And then within a year or 6 months or whatever, it's going to be the whole tune is going to fucking change. So the witch hunts are going on right now. The same witch hunters with the pitchforks will end up in 6 months' time turning on the family. So my thing is, why can't we put the fucking pitchforks down? Can we not pick up the pitchforks? Can we just sit back and like this? And be an observer and be like, okay, what do you have to say? Okay. Now, what about you, sir? All right. Okay, the vloggers, what y'all got to say? Okay, this lawyer released the audio tape. They can easily prove whether the audio is AI or not. Did she have another dude? I heard that Kim Sae-ron was dating another dude. I don't know whether she was married to the dude and had an abortion. They're like, oh, this tape is fake. It's AI. It's easily to tell. I work for a cybersecurity company. I can tell you right now, it's easy to tell whether a picture is AI or audio is AI. They run it through a system. It's not hard, y'all. It's 2025, y'all. Do y'all not understand? There's software you can even download on your computer that you can pay for that can tell you whether videos are AI. They have that. It's not a secret. It's not like something just for the FBI or the Secret Service. You can purchase apps. You can purchase online products. Not a lot. Where they scan audio and scan video and scan photos to tell if they've been AI manipulated. I don't understand why people are acting like this is a hard thing. I'm like, you can find it just like that. Companies do it all the time, y'all. It's not a secret. The software is out there. The technology is out there. So if somebody really wanted to see whether this audio was real or not, you can run it through. You can run it through software. It's not hard, y'all. Not rocket science. So if that wasn't her talking to an agency or a manager or something saying that she was with a guy, and then we don't know what she said in the recording is even true. We don't know whether she was saying what was true or not. So that's another he said, she said. She could have been telling her manager that, yeah, I got pregnant by this guy and had an abortion, and yeah, I married this guy in America. We don't know her, to be honest with you, this poor child's state of mind. I don't know whether she was making this up. I don't know whether, this person really existed. I don't know whether she was saying these things to whoever it was for sympathy. We don't know. I'm not going to take Kim Sae-ron's word for it either. I got to see some proof. There should be a marriage license if she did get married. There's some kind of record saying that she got an abortion, whether it be in America, Korea, or whatever. So all I'm saying is there should be some records out there. I don't necessarily trust what she was saying. She could have said that to the dude just to try to make up something. People make up shit all the time. So the fact that people trying to call the audio AI, that's easily verifiable. And number two, even if it's not AI, she really did say that. We don't know what she said was real. We don't know what was the whole context of the conversation. So I don't know whether what she said was real. But the same thing, the pictures that the parents released. We don't know if those pictures are real, but you can run it through AI and figure out whether they're real or not, but you can't date them. I don't know whether she was 16 or 18 in those pictures. There's not much of a difference between really a 15-year-old and a 17, 18-year-old. It's not that much. So I don't know. Koreans age slower anyway, so I don't know how old she was in those pictures. If they have videos or whatever, then they need to get behind closed doors and be like, we're going to tell him that they're going to release that video. Why would you get online and be like, we're going to release videos and more pictures and that's going to prove that you were with our 16-year-old daughter? What? We need you to apologize. He got to come before the public and apologize? Same thing with Suga. I'm like, Suga got to get out here and do a photo line? Y'all know I was against that. I did a whole video saying, hell no. But he did it anyway. And so my question is, again, people, when y'all are online slamming these people, just think these are real people. I said, y'all, this is not a fucking K-drama. Well, he probably dated her and he did this and he did this and she probably killed herself because of this and this. This is not a K-drama. These are real people's lives. Do y'all not understand that? These are real people's lives. These are real people's livelihoods. It is hard enough to break into the entertainment industry in Korea as it is. And now y'all virtually ruined this man's career with really no evidence of anything that the parents are saying. A few photos is not evidence. Audio where she's talking, supposedly Kim Sae-ron is talking to somebody. We don't know where the audio came from. That's not evidence. She says she was married and had an abortion. Okay, so what does that have to do with Kim Soo-young? What does that have to do with him? Nothing. They were broken up. If he dated her under the age of 18, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't condone it, but the age of consent was 13. Which y'all get mad at Korea. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at Kim Sae-ron. I don't think he coerced her or forced her to be in a relationship. Why would he? He was a famous actor by then. Did she willingly probably want to be in a relationship with him? Yeah. Was she too young to be in a relationship? Yes. Was he too old to be in a relationship with a 15, 16-year-old? Yes. All of those things can be true at all once. Do I condone it? Hell no. Would I want my daughter to be with somebody at 16? No. Fuck no. Was it legal? Yeah. It was legal. If it wasn't legal, then the parents need to take up their evidence and take it to the police. Not take it to Facebook or Instagram. Not take it to Twitter. Twitter is not the law. But the fact that you want to try things in the court of public opinion, y'all are fucked up. Same thing with NewJeans. To hell with them. My opinion. Why do you have to release statements and press conferences? We're not happy here. We got it. We got it. You've done interviews in America. You've done interviews in Korea. Well, yeah, you posted things. We understand. You're not happy with the door. But NewJeans, what are you going to do about it? Because they are not letting you out of their contract without you paying. So what are you going to do about it? Y'all can kick and scream. The bunnies can be bunnies. They can be mad. They can thump their little rabbit foots and they can thump their asses on. But the point is, what are you going to do about it? They can counterclaim. They can file. We don't agree with the injunction. We're going to file. From what I know from the legal people in Korea, they can file a complaint about the injunction anyway, but they presented all of their evidence and statements to the court. And so, yes, you can file to say that you disagree with the injunction or whatever, but until they can produce some other new evidence. And again, everything that the NewJeans are claiming that they got mistreated is not mistreatment. Because somebody didn't say hello to you on the elevator is not mistreatment. Because you didn't get a Louis Vuitton deal, it's not mistreatment. Just because you didn't debut before this other group didn't debut, that's not mistreatment. There are real people in the industry right now, or former people in the industry, in K-idols and K-dramas, that have been exploited, that truly have experienced horrific things, that have never said anything, and they should have come forward. There are people out there right now in groups and small companies that are struggling, that are working their asses off to make it in this industry. NewJeans were handed basically a silver spoon on a fucking gold platter with some damn cafe au lait in the cup. They were basically given the treatment that a lot of people wish that they had and that they will never have because they don't have a door and hide kind of money. There are people out there, even with big agencies or small agencies, that are being mistreated right now, that are being mistreated. Young trainees who've been training for years, that are trying to make it in this business. And NewJeans want to complain because somebody didn't say hi to them on the elevator, and then when they pulled the CCTV video, didn't even match anything what they were saying. So that shot their credibility right there. That's not worth getting out of your contract because you didn't get a brand deal or, So, I mean, it's childish and it's stupid. And it's stupid for anybody to ruin their career over that. And it's childish. And it's childish for people to take sides in this situation, right, Natalie? In this situation when we don't have all the evidence. I am a fact-based person. Give me the evidence. I want to see the evidence. Then I will make a decision. I don't have no love for Adora Hive. It's a company. I don't work there. I don't have stock in Adora and Hive. I don't work there. So it's like, I just need to see the evidence. Well, we were mistreated. Okay, show me the evidence. Where were you mistreated at? Give me some examples. People just want to hop on the Hive hate train before Adora even said anything. Before they even released any statements about how they were treated, people are already like, yep, Adora, And I'm like, hello, Ray's Corner. Like, people are just ready to hop on that train even before anything was even put out there. The same thing with Kim Sae-ron. They were ready to hop on this train before anything has really been released about Kim Sae-ron. They automatically want to believe the family. And not because Kim Sae-ron has haters. It's just because people want to tear people down. And like I said, the same thing happened with Suga. People were waiting. I mean, even though BTS has lots of haters, even people who didn't even like K-pop or had nothing against BTS, like, they were chomping at the bit to try to take down any member of BTS about anything. not including the aunties. But they were willing to try to take them down any means necessary when it comes to BTS. And that was shocking to me. And I'm like, well, BTS ain't never hurt nobody. They ain't never harmed nobody. Why would people want to be so mean to Suga? I'm like, wait a minute. Then the video came out. I said, come on, y'all. Like, can we just let's see what Hype has to say. Let's see what Suga has to say. And then the stories. I am never gonna let the Suga shit go. Y'all got me messed up. Y'all think I'm finna let this go. I will never let the Suga situation go. I will keep bringing it up and keep bringing it up and keep bringing it up, not to shame or hurt Suga, but bringing up the fact that the shit that I read for a week, the articles, the videos I read, and now people are just walking around pretending like they didn't say that shit. Content creators, I mean. Yeah, you did. And I started unsubscribing from all of them. Now these same people, when BTS do a comeback, now these same people are going to be kissing BTS's butt. Like, it is so pathetic. I'm like, well, because the things I heard about Suga was so crazy. Like, he's an alcoholic. And then they had the fake Suga challenge. And then Suga, he doing horrible in the military. Then they're like, well, sources say that they don't even like him in the military. And blah, 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 blah. And Suga is reckless. I heard so many things about Suga that I'm just like, what in the world? And these people didn't come back and take it back. That's what gets me mad. They didn't come back and take it back. Then the fake ass scooter footage came out. Everybody was like, oh my God, it's him. He was going so fast. And then the footage was not him. And then I was like, oh, y'all finna apologize? No, I've said this in videos before. I sat here and waited for people to, no, they just moved on. He didn't even apologize. That wasn't even him on that scooter. And then when the real footage came out, these people got on hush mode. They was like, oh. Yeah, the real footage came out. And he was on the sidewalk. I'm like, so y'all gonna apologize? No, they didn't. They just kept on like, oh, okay, well. And then Suga was still getting funeral wreaths. Suga was still getting death threats. Up until October. People were still on this. They were still cutting Suga out of promotions for Samsung. They were cutting him out of things on the internet. They cut him out of that VCR when they did a dedication to BTS and they edited Suga out of it. This was in October, y'all. And this was still going on. And none of these people apologize as to the things that they made up and say. So my question is, what does Suga have to do to get redemption? Are we when he comes back, are we still gonna be on this? People are gonna be like, well, he had a DWI. Like, people were literally online talking about this man like he killed somebody. And I'm just like, but he didn't hurt nobody. Like, we would, well, it's still against the law. Okay, but he didn't hurt nobody. He didn't. I was like, yeah, they made him apologize for no reason. And I said it before. I said, if I was Suga, I wouldn't even apologize. And so the same thing with Kim Sae-ron. If I was him, I wouldn't even apologize. I wouldn't apologize. I tell people, go straight to hell. Apologize for what? If you apologize, they're not going to forgive you. That's my issue. You admit your wrongdoing. You go through all of this, and they still don't forgive you. So I tell armies out there, y'all think Suga's still forgiven? Y'all think they forgive Suga in Korea? They don't. Just y'all wait. Just y'all wait till Suga come back. Y'all gonna be like, I said, we are gonna be at it again. I'm gonna get up here, your girl gonna do videos, and I'm gonna be up here incensed. Like, I'm gonna be up here just shaking mad because they have not forgiven Suga because of this shit. And y'all gonna see it. Y'all are gonna see it. Natalie says, girl, I know. Y'all are gonna see it. And y'all are gonna think like, oh, this is all blown over, and surely people are not gonna bring this up. Baby, the moment Suga step his ass out the military, they gonna be like, The moment BTS do their interview, because you know they're gonna do their press tour, right? They're gonna be like, so Minyungi CC, so how do you feel considering you had the incident with the scooter? You know, do you feel like you redeemed? These motherfuckers gonna ask these questions. Get ready. And then we gonna be like, I'm be like this. And then Suga, and I don't know what Suga's gonna do. I can't predict what he's gonna do. I don't even know if Suga will even be on the BTS, I would think that they can't reunite and not do a press thing. That like they're gonna have to do a press tour. They're gonna have to do interviews. Now, Hype's PR can basically tell Suga or tell the interviewers like, look, we're not going to answer these questions. If you're going to bring us on and try to hem him up about the damn about scooter shit, we're not coming on here. So they can do that, but somebody's going to try it. Yeah, I'm still mad about the Suga shit, but somebody's going to try it. I promise you, the Korean media is going to try it. They're going to try it. They're going to ask him. And to be honest with you, is the unknown for me. I don't know what Suga is going to say. I don't know whether he's just going to ignore it. I don't know whether he's going to address it. I don't know what he's going to say and or do. And I'm very curious to see what's going to happen because somebody is going to try it. And even if they don't get him in the press, they're going to put it. They're going to put it in and then all the netizens are going to put it in the comment section. They gonna drag Suga. Let me tell you how it's gonna happen. Hold on. Here you go. They're gonna drag about what he looks like. Oh, they gonna say that. Oh, they Suga. And look, they're gonna drag Suga's appearance. They're gonna be like, he shouldn't be part of the group. I'm just giving you all you fine people that are gonna watch this on a rewatch. Let me tell you how this is probably gonna go down. They're gonna drag what he looks like. Because that happened. That shit happened. That angered me more than anything. They were like, when Suga got up there and bowed, and he was looking so contrite and worried and so cute. And they got up there and they dragged Suga, talking about, well, he just looks normal. He just looks like a regular Oppa. I was like, you bitches. Oh, y'all know I did a live stream and I was spitting venom. I was like I was so angry that these people were really up here dragging him like that about his appearance. And I'm like, well, what was he supposed to show up like with makeup on and like fully August D'd out? Like he's damned if you do and damned if you don't. If he would have showed up all made up and glammed and everything, they would have drug him for that. They would have drug him for that. And then like the same shit that happened to G-Dragon. When G-Dragon got accused of being a drug addict, they drug him for filth. And then G-Dragon showed up there and took a drug test and proved that no, he is not a drug addict. He may just be weird as hell, but he's not a drug addict. G-Dragon is very quirky and weird, and he's been through a lot of things. But he's like, I'm not a drug addict. And they sat there and made G-Dragon out like he was a crackhead or some shit. Yeah, they made him apologize for no reason. Poor G-Dragon just standing up there like, G-Dragon's like, okay, he did a drug test and it's clear. Then everybody was like, oh, okay. Now G-Dragon come out with an album. And everybody's like, oh my God, G-Dragon. Wasn't you the same motherfuckers dragging him? This shit get me agitated. Y'all can tell I get angry about this shit because again, these are people's lives. Suga is a human being. He's not superhero. He is not, a alien from another planet. He has emotions and feelings and everything that we all do. Girl, you talking about you pissed? Girl, right. Me and you pissed together. I'm like, these are people. This is not a K-drama, y'all. When you take away people's livelihoods and ability to make money and everything like that, it's sad. Hello, Damaris. They're human. They're people. Like, a person can only deal with so much. The way they hounded Kim Sae-ron, that poor girl wasn't mentally and emotionally equipped, and she may not have the support system to deal with the bullying that she experienced online, the harassment. You don't know what a person is going through. And then she couldn't pay the money back. And then she wasn't allowed to act, which I'm sure it's something that she loved to do. So you're taking away a person's passion and a person's livelihood. And they're doing it the same thing to Kim Sae-ron. They're doing it. Now we're here. Now we're doing it to him too. And then we did it to Sugar. So like I said, all of this is connected. All of these things fit together, fit together. And it's sad that they fit together because again, I am it's 3 months to the day, like what almost to the day when Sugar's coming back. He comes back and he comes back on my birthday. But I just don't know what's gonna happen. I'm kind of scared. Like I'm scared. Even some idols took their life. Yes, for so much hate. Yes. Moonbin. There's another idol that died recently of a heart attack because apparently this idol, apparently allegedly, was hooked on profanol. I think his name was like, was it Wee Sung? I forgot his name, but he was a older idol, and he died of a heart attack because he had massive substance abuse issues. Like, and it was just sad. Like to hear his story, I had never heard of this idol. He was part of a boy group, and just to hear that he was like taking the drugs and passing out in public bathroom, in hotels, taking it. I don't know why he wasn't at home taking his substances, but apparently this dude was so down bad he was just taking the drug, taking profanol, the same thing that killed Michael Jackson. Like he was addicted to profanol, and I heard that that's a really big thing, and in Korea. So profanol. And then I have to say, like, um, there's two more things I would like to say. Um, Number one, when things like this hit the news, like it's not just like us talking about it, but people in the industry talk about it too heavily. I mean, this is from what I've been told to people I know that work in the industry. I'll tell you, I have a couple friends that work in the industry, that this has really shocked the industry in a lot of ways. First of all, I tell people that there are a bunch of secret relationships going on that we have never heard about, but it's kind of like open secret relationships. They said that Kim Sae-ron and this guy had what we would call like an open secret relationship. That everybody kind of knew that they were in a relationship for 6 years, allegedly. So that's what I heard. But when stuff like this happens, this has like a chilling effect in the industry, you guys. Like people get really scared. Like people really get scared about their relationships. Not saying that they're dating people underage, but just they can't have their relationship revealed anyway. So a lot of people are really like distancing themselves from Kim Soo Young, and y'all gotta understand that when things like this happen, people distance themselves. Now we may not see it or we may not know it, but I'm talking about professionally, even within their own family. So when I tell y'all, when shit like this hits the fan, us in America and other countries kind of take it for granted, but y'all don't see what goes on behind the scenes. Y'all don't see it. For somebody I know who works in the industry, and the things that I've been told what goes on, the chilling effect in the industry when a scandal hits you, it saddens me because again, I don't know Sugar. I don't know Sugar. I don't know somebody who knows Sugar. But from what I've heard allegedly taken from a grain of salt, this affects their career, not just, Sugar's career in BTS, but behind the scenes, y'all. Like these are things that people are not thinking about. Like behind closed doors. Can you imagine if you had a scandal in Korea and then everybody don't want to fuck with you no more? Everybody like, oh, I was going to collaborate with this person, but oh no, like I can't really collaborate with him. I can't be. That's why it's such a big deal with what happened to Sugar, because it can really it can affect the group. Like I'm not going to sit up here and lie to y'all. It can affect the group. So, when you're an artist and you're dealing with somebody that had some sort of scandal, and it's something like, that seems like it doesn't want to go away, it can affect your career. And I almost guarantee you, almost in my opinion, like my honest opinion from things that I have known and heard about, I promise you that this has affected Sugar's career as a composer and a writer. I can see how, like I said, I don't know for sure, but I'm telling you, like maybe not in the West, but in Korea it has. And then you got to think that like that talking about, yeah, I'm scared of losing Sugar. Like it scares me. Yeah, like yes, it scares all of us. Like I said, Sugar's my alt, he's my bias. So it is very frightening for me because I don't want any of these things that happen to any idol because they have enough scrutiny. But when I just think about when Suga gets out, I just think like, like his mental well-being because it is a lot. And like I said, people just see the surface. People like, well, he doesn't have to read the stuff online. That is true. He probably doesn't read the stuff that's written about him online. I'm sure PR can handle all of that. PR can handle all the slander and the misinformation. They can do all that. But I said, what y'all don't understand is this shit is deeper than this. This shit is like T.O.P. has talked about all the years, the things that have happened in his personal life and his career since he became like a pariah. Like it has stopped people from hanging out with him. He has lost friends. He has lost associates. I tell people, y'all don't understand. People will lose family members. Y'all just don't know. Family members will turn on you. I'm telling you, if you don't have a strong support system professionally and emotionally and mentally, even in your own family, honey, your own family will turn against you in Korea. I mean, your own family will turn against you, period, in any situation, because people just be like that. But when you have a scandal, people start turning on you real quick. And like I said, these are things that we don't, besides the K-netizens, besides the Instagram and the Facebook and all of that. That's the side of it that I think a lot of people do not talk about in the industry, that behind the scenes, a lot of these people suffer scandals and they really, really do suffer. Kim Sae-ron suffered. She wasn't allowed to make a living to pay off her debt. She was bullied on the internet. And besides bullied on the internet, inside the industry, there were whispers and things said about her. And people started to distance her from her. And she may have lost her relationship because of this. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it because it could have happened. She could have lost ties with Kim Sae-ron because of all of this. He may have distanced. It has happened. People have done it. So when people talk about like Suga's going to be okay, I was like, but we don't know what opportunities or things that he had planned that somebody may have been like, oh yeah, I don't really want to work with him. And that affects his livelihood. That affects his money. So you affect in the bag. And Suga is very talented. Like I said, I did a whole video about Suga, about his composing and his music and how he's written music and collaborated with a lot of people. And he has made connections inside the industry in Korea and also in America. And so the idea that, people in America don't care. We don't care. A lot of American singers and Westernized singers came out and support Suga. They came out and said things to support him. But in Korea, there was Psy said some things and a few other people, but not really. Like, it was like, I'm being honest with y'all, like a chilling effect in Korea. What happened to Suga? And so, knowing the things that I know about, like I said, I don't know Suga personally. I don't presume to know him. But knowing the things that I've heard about Suga, like online and just, things about his personality, that Suga really don't fuck with a lot of people anyway, that he's really kind of like a hermit, that he's really not one to go out and socialize. And knowing that, like, that's kind of like his style anyway, that he's not a party guy and that he really likes to work and he likes to concentrate on his music, that like you can be a workaholic and concentrate on your music. But then the other part about it is when things like this hit you, you really have to cling to your family and your friends. And like I said, I'm not saying anything bad about BTS, but most of them are in the military. So they can't really offer Suga really that much, comfort. Like there's been evidence that they have gotten together and I'm sure I'm sure BTS love him and they support Suga. Suga is one of the founding members of BTS. So he ain't going nowhere. But like I said, we don't know Suga's personal life. And then I tell people, I said, y'all do understand when shit like this happens, this affects their dating as well. This affects their relationships. I don't know if Suga's in a relationship. I'll say less about that, but like I tell people, I say, y'all be thinking these people in relationships and they really not a relationship. It's just a mutual physical kind of thing. That's what I guess I could put it in grown folks talk. It's just a physical relationship. But from what I know and what I heard, I don't think Suga's like in a relationship. But again, I don't presume to know anything. But I just tell people that even if you're single and you're in a relationship and a scandal hits you, it's really hard for you to find somebody to be with you. Like this thing will go in the circle so quick that people will stop inviting you to parties. People will stop inviting you to events. People are like, oh, do we want him to be here at this event? When before everybody would die to have a BTS member at their wedding or listening party or whatever it is. Not saying that Suga's a party animal, but they would, he would get lots of invites to movie premieres, and I'm sure he gets a bunch of invites and stuff that he probably turns down. But once a scandal like this hits you socially. Like people will start to distance away from you. The invitations will start to dry up, and then you get to see who your real friends are. So I tell people it's not all just about what goes on the internet and social media and Twitter and what's said about you. That is part of it. And being bullied on the internet. That is part of it. Being slandered on the internet. That is part of it. But the other part is what happens behind the scenes with your social circle. That is more, I feel like it's much more egregious and heartbreaking. You can unplug from the internet and be like, I don't care about aunties and fans and haters. That's fine. But what happens in your social circle? And I think RM has did an interview where he's said something to that effect that they don't really listen to the haters, that stuff like that. But what's really important is the people that are around you. I think RM said something to that effect that anything that affects his life, it's the hardest on his family and friends. Like that's where it's the hardest because nobody wants, like, I'm a mother and I can just imagine being Suga's parents. Nobody wants, especially in Korea, nobody wants to be embarrassed. Nobody wants to have a reputation ruined. Nobody wants to have people asking you questions about your child. They're like, so, your son, I see he was in a little trouble. Nobody wants to hear that shit. I wouldn't want to hear that shit as a parent. And then like having to defend your child if they're so inclined as parents, which naturally, hopefully they would defend Suga. I would defend Suga. Like if that was my child and in that situation, you naturally want to defend your child. And then you never know, like I said, it's like dropping a pebble in water and you see the ripples. It's like a ripple effect because, when they talk about it takes a village, in Korea, it really do. Everybody's in everybody else's business, especially in the entertainment industry. Everybody knows what's going on with everybody else. Whether everybody try to pretend that they're not, but the things that I've learned behind the scenes, that and things that I don't say on here, but everybody knows what's going on with everybody else. And so there are people dating, there are people seeing each other, there are open secrets, there's staff members that know certain things, that are privy to seeing certain things that they don't really say because they have to keep a professional demeanor and they want to work. And if you start loose lips, sink ships, and you start talking about people's private business, they're not going to want to hire you as a stylist or a wardrobeist or whatever, a hair designer. Nobody's going to want to hire you if they know you're going around blabbing about the idols' personal lives and their personalities. Nobody's going to want to hire you in the business. So to be discreet is very important in the K-pop industry. To being discreet is almost tantamount to working in the industry. If you're going to be a stylist, you're not going to be a talent. If you're going to be a producer or a stylist or a director on staff, they expect you to be discreet. They make you sign a contract a lot in these bigger companies saying that you cannot go off and just tell information. That's why these staff members don't. They may come in chat rooms and say certain things anonymously, but really, like at the end of the day, they understand that their professional careers hinged on them being very discreet and keeping their mouths shut. But behind the scenes, like I tell people, there's always a lot of things going behind the scenes in the K-pop industry that you guys would be shocked by. Like you guys would be like, what? And then you would just be like, what? It's a lot of things that go on that aren't very moral or what people consider moral or right or whatever. I'm not saying it's illegal, but there's things that, people talk about Diddy and freak offs here, and I'm like, well, I mean, I'm like, there are things that go on that, not illegal, not burning sun illegal, but there are things that go on in the industry that are a bit lascivious. Let's put it that way. That would shock you. That would shock the fans. And I tell people the idols, they are having sex. Like I said, I don't understand why people want to make these idols to be like there's some purity test. These are angels. Honey, they're not. Your idols are having sex. They're having sex with each other. And it doesn't mean they're necessarily dating or going to get married or they're really seeing each other. It could just be a physical thing. And a lot of times what y'all do when things do leak from Dispatch, a lot of times it's not them having a relationship. It's really them sneaking off having intimate relations. It's really not about them falling in love. And sometimes people do fall in love and do have relationships in the industry with people who aren't famous. Like sometimes there's rumors that IU has had a boyfriend for like 8 years. I'm gonna put that rumor out there. It is not really a secret. It's an open secret. IU has been in a relationship for many years with a guy, and I don't think he's in the industry. And so, and then people hook up with people in other industries because they go to the same parties. And like you don't really know about these parties unless you're really in the industry, like you're a staff member or in the industry. But they see these idols hang out a lot of times they do hang out. They do hang out and go to listening parties. And this idol knows this person. They were trainees with this person. So a lot of them do talk and they do hang out. So a lot of this silliness, these fan wars and these silliness that y'all talk about, idols laugh at that because like behind closed doors, they really do hang out, and a lot of them really do enjoy each other's company because again, if you're an idol, you're gonna hang out with another idol, most likely. And then there's some people that get as big as like BTS where they don't have any friends, where they don't have, any, you get to be a certain level that people really start distancing themselves from you because they feel like there's jealousy, there's envy, there's a bunch of things. And so BTS has said over and over again that they didn't have many friends in the industry. But then again, I'm like, I kind of put a side eye to that because I'm depending on who we talking about. Because there are two members of BTS that I would say that they do have a good. Jin has a good social circle, and Taehyung has a good social circle. I would say that out of everybody that I've heard about in BTS, these are the two people that have like the most social circle, like outside of BTS. That they have friends and close with their family and stuff like that. That they have outside friends. Jin has outside friends. He's been spotted out many times with outside friends. Jin still has friends from like his college days in his high school that he still talks to, from what I know. And then V has like a little, what do they call it, the Wooga squad. Like he has a gaggle of other little friends that he hangs out with to get away from. But the rest of them, I could probably see them not having very many friends. And RM has friends, but I think RM has a lot of RM friends are in the industry, like other producers, other writers, other creatives that are kind of like in the industry. But I'm saying them just having like normal friends, like outside of the industry, outside of that, I would say Jen and V would probably be the ones that I would see that has friends the most. And then it's hard being idle because you don't know who to trust too. You don't know if you get really cool with somebody and you divulge things about yourself and you just don't know who to trust. So, that's I could talk about idle stuff all day long. Again, me knowing somebody who know two people who work in the business, it has been very eye-opening, the things that they have told me. And like I said, a lot of things I don't come on here and say because it's not my business. It's people's personal lives, not my business to come out here and start spreading rumors. I'm not a gossip channel. I just kind of report the news and I give my opinion. I'm just an op-ed. I just give my opinion. But it has been very eye-opening. But yes, these are grown people. These are adults. These K-drama actors are not their characters. And they're not who a lot of times people put on an act or put on a persona. Even in K-pop groups, they put on a act and a persona, and it may not be their real personality at all. Like they may come across as being like giggly and happy, and they may be like very serious and down to business, or they may be both, just situational. So, I just tell people like, realize that these are grown people, these are adults, these are not little children, and you have to keep that, ahead of time. So now we're going to talk about J-Hope. Last but definitely about least, J-Hope is on his tour. He's in America. He released a song, Mona Lisa, which I absolutely love. J-Hope is doing his grown and sexy thing. He's in his grown and sexy era. J-Hope is feeling himself. I am so excited about J-Hope with his new era and his new music. I don't think from what I heard about J-Hope is that he did not record a whole album. I heard that J-Hope recorded like maybe 4 or 5 songs. That's what I heard. So I don't know if that's accurate or correct. I know J-Hope was saying that he didn't do a whole album because he didn't have enough time Because once he came out the military, he had to hit the ground running and get ready for his tour. So he could only do. I mean, J Hope was going, but he's done enough. But J Hope is looking really sexy. J Hope is looking really good. Like J Hope, y'all know I love J Hope. I love all of BTS. I love Bangtan. I love OT7. I love all of them. Um, however, um, and I understand they have their own personality, but Suga's my all and my bias. Like, and J Hope is in all of them to me are very attractive men. Very, but I am so glad to see J Hope coming into his own sexiness and his sexuality. JK has gone through that. Jimin has kind of flirted with it a little bit. The same thing I've talked about in my other live streams. How I want BTS to come out and be grown and sexy. Apparently, J Hope must have been listening to my motherfucking live streams because he was like, "Kiki, I got you, girl. Watch this. I got you." And then J Hope just came and "Sweet Dreams" is a grown and sexy song. Mona Lisa is a grown and sexy song, and I'm here for all of it. I am here for them being grown, the grown and sexy men. And J Hope, I think, in my opinion, got tired of being looked at as just like the happy-go-lucky one, or and maybe his last album that I listened to, it was good, and I liked quite a few songs on it. I'm a hip hop girl, I'm a rap line girl, rap line, rap line. I'm a rap line girl, but his last album was much more very like hip hop flavor, and I liked it. But I was like, I really want J Hope to do something like grown and sexy, and I want him to sing a little bit because J Hope has a good voice. And I said it before. I said I want J Hope to come out here crooning. I want him to sing, and J Hope has done that. And Mona Lisa is a very '90s infused, old school kind of song that I like. The first time I heard it, I was like, I was like, this me right here. They were like, "Oh, Kiki, this you?" I said, "This me right here. This is me right here." When Mona Lisa hit, the beat hit, I was like, "Hey," I said, "Oh, hey, hey." I said, "This is me right here." That's all my kind of '90s flavor hip hop. When Sweet Dreams hit, I thought Sweet Dreams was it was a grown song. It was a cute, romantic kind of song. Like, I like that. But it was a nice, sweet hook that Miguel was saying. I like that. But when Mona Lisa hit, baby, I was ready. And then J Hope was out there dancing, and when he came to America, he was really feeling himself. Because he didn't debut the song in Korea, but when he came to America, J Hope was hip thrusting and pointing down to his goodies, and I was like, Jay, he ain't J Hope no more, honey. He Mr. J. I said, that's Mr. J, baby. Mr. J then showed up and showed out. So no, J Hope will no longer be J Hope or Hobie, baby. I'm over that Hobie. Hobie gone. Hobie is gone. It's Mr. J then showed up. Mr. J is finna tell you that, like, I like them girls, and J Hope, and I believe him. J Hope, sir, I believe you. I believe you when you say you like them girls. I believe you. There's no doubt in my mind when he talking about pretty in the face and just his type, and I'm like, J Hope, sir, I believe you. You like them girls. So I thoroughly believe J Hope when he's talking about he like them women. I'm sure that J Hope like all kinds of women. But yeah, like I'm glad that J Hope is being more adult and exploring that playful, sexy side of him. And J Hope is on the live streams, and he been looking good, girl. He been looking so good. I don't even know. Like, I was like, oh my, J Hope, when he did Mona Lisa, J Hope wrecked my bias. That whole song, the music video, when girl, I be watching the concert footage and J Hope up there talking about and just throwing it, and I was like, oh, J Hope, you throwing it now on the old daddy, you throwing it. Okay, well, Sugar, I had to like say I had to get myself together. I had to say a few prayers. I'm like, in name of the August D, the Sugar, the Min Yoongi, I had to cross myself a few times. I had to say the prayer, to my patron saint, Sugar, because I was like, this man is fixing to wreck my bias. This man is fixing to wreck me right now. J Hope wrecked me. So I was like, oh no, like my bias is almost wrecked. It was wrecked for like a day. Then I had to calm down. I was like, calm down, Kiki, calm down. I had to watch a few Sugar videos. I had to post some Sugar shit to kind of get it out of my system. Y'all see me posting Sugar shorts to try to get it out of my system because it's a lot dealing with J Hope over here. Singing and thrusting and dancing and talking about he liked them girls. I'm like, okay, J Hope, just go on, not J Hope. Nah, I don't need none of that devil, that devil hips you thrusting over here. I don't need none of that in my life right now. I'm trying to be faithful to Min Yoongi. I am. Sugar is my dude. He's my man. So I'm trying to be faithful to my man. But I just say everybody, there are still tickets available in some venues for J Hope's concert. So if you still want to go, Ticketmaster did this thing. People were talking about the Ticketmaster, and I was gonna do a video on it, but I decided not to do a video on it because Ticketmaster do this. It's not just K-pop. It's not just J Hope. Ticketmaster is dastardly. Ticketmaster has done this with so many different concerts for years now, where they said that the concert is sold out, and then like right at the last minute, they'll come back and be like, "Oh, we have tickets available," and then they either sell them at resale value or they hike the price. Like it showed the concert was sold out, and then Ticketmaster came back and be like, "Surprise, surprise, we got some tickets left," because they'll hold back a certain amount of tickets for the last minute, just to try to generate business. It's a whole thing. Like Asian Entertainment did a whole like live stream and she talked about how but Ticketmaster for as long as I remember, even when I was younger, they were doing people wrong. Even I mean their system would be down. I remember back in the day when people used to actually like physically line up for tickets and they wouldn't open the box office on time. Like people would camp out overnight and then they would camp overnight and then Ticketmaster would be like, "Oh, they're all sold out." And then like a week later, they're like, "Oh, we got tickets." People are like, "But I camped out. Y'all say you didn't have one." Yeah, surprise. Ticketmaster's been doing this for years, and there's nothing really anybody can do because they hold a monopoly over the tickets. Like, there's not that many there's no other ticket venue places, so that's how they get away with doing this just craziness and screwing over. Now, like I said, not just K-pop fans, but fans, period. And there's nothing really that Hybe or Big Hit or J Hope can do anything about it because they're the ticket distributor of like most of the groups, especially a heavy presence in North America. They have the systems, they have the organization, they have all of that, and they have their own ticket brokers. Like it's a whole thing. Like I said, I didn't do a video about it, but it's a whole steamy, shady side to ticketing. Like I've said before, it's not like J Hope is sitting around with a computer pulling up spreadsheets deciding how much his concert is going to cost. That's not how this works. It's not how it works. Like there's ticket prices are negotiated, put forth. Ticketmaster takes their cut. Big Hit takes their cut. Hybe takes their cut. Staff and crew and J Hope and everybody, they get a cut of all the proceeds for the tickets and whatever. So all of these are things that are worked out way ahead of time before the concert even starts. But it's like the companies are forced to kind of work with Ticketmaster because they're the biggest name in the game. And you don't want to have people go and order tickets and they can't get them or the system crashed or some snap. You don't want to have a bunch of angry fans at a stadium, talking about where our tickets at, like or calling in or bad mouthing the artist or the label because the ticket company can't get their shit together. So it's a catch-22. It's like you're damned if you do and damned if you don't because you have to go through Ticketmaster. But hopefully in the future Ticketmaster will stop doing it. I can't see them stop doing it because they make so much money off of doing this. Just follow the money and then you'll see. But I just see this as like a no-win situation for the artists. Like I'm sure that J Hope, this has gotten back to Big Hit. I promise you, they know what's going on. They know how Ticketmaster goes. They understand what's going on. They understand. They've seen the videos and they know that people have complained. They fully aware of what's going on with the ticket situation. But I believe that they feel powerless really to do anything about it. And I'm sure they're not happy about, especially the fans in California who they are in bad enough straits as it is with the wildfires, and a lot of people are still very much unsettled. And knowing that some people wanted to get tickets and then made other arrangements or spent the money because they said it was sold out, and now they're like, "Oh, there's tickets available in California." I think the same thing with San Antonio too, in Texas where I'm at. I think that like people thought San Antonio was sold out, but then I was told from somebody a couple of days ago that San Antonio still has tickets, but that they were selling tickets online again for San Antonio. And I'm like, man, like that's crazy. But I have seen the J Hope concert. I've seen the whole thing. And it was good. Like J Hope, like I said before my last live stream, J Hope was phenomenal. So if you have not seen it, please watch the J Hope concert. There are various YouTubers that pretty much post like the whole concert. Or watch it on Weverse or whatever, just See what you can do. And speaking of Weverse, I am on Weverse. Weverse is the web that the app that a lot of hello Diana. Weverse is the app that a lot of K-pop groups and solos use. I think there's probably over 100 and something different artists on Weverse. I am on Weverse. I'm Nomadic Kitty on Weverse. I am on Blue Sky. I'm Nomadic Kitty on Blue Sky. So you can find me there. Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit the like button for more K-pop news. I feel better. I got this off my chest. If you have missed my live stream, please watch it in the rewatch. You know, it takes a while for this video for it to load, and then I can be able to edit it and post it up. But it takes like at least 6 hours for YouTube to upload a live stream. But I am gonna release. I'm working on a new video. I'm working on 2 videos right now. One video is about K-pop fandom names and the weird, quirky fandom names. There's so many weird, weirdo fandom names. And then I'm working on another video, which is like a clip compilation of clips. So I'm working on that as well. So y'all make sure you tune into that. And again, if you missed this live stream, just go ahead and rewind all the way back to the beginning where I was talking about Kim Sae-ron and Kim Hee-young and how it all intertwines with Suga and NewJeans and all of that. And how it all kinds of intertwines together for those of you who missed it. So you can rewind right now or when the video posts, watch it on a rewatch. I greatly appreciate you guys. This has been a very, like I said, interesting week for me. I had to get my mind right about the whole Kim Sae-ron thing because I feel very strongly and I advocate for Kim Sae-ron only. I don't care about her parents. I don't care about Kim Soo-hyung. I don't know him. I'm not a fan of him. I care about Kim Sae-ron and I want her to be able to live her life and rest in peace and don't feel like her business should have been put out there. That no parent, I couldn't even imagine. I'm a parent. I would never in my right mind put my kids' business out there, post pictures of them and their relationships, threatening to release videos. I'm sure Kim Sae-ron wouldn't want her pictures and videos of her relationship put out there. Like I wouldn't, and to what end? Because you want him to apologize? Yeah, that's crazy to me. That's crazy. You don't put your kids' shit on social media. If they wanted an apology, they could have easily went behind closed doors and asked them. If they wanted to sue them, they could have filed a lawsuit. You don't have to post the pictures. You don't have to do all that. You do it in discovery. You do it in the court case. If they wanted to file a criminal case, they could have easily got all their pictures and videos and went over to the Seoul Police Department or wherever the police department they're at, and they could have filed a criminal case and they could have did a thorough investigation and see what was what. But you don't post the pictures and the videos to the public like the public is going to be able to do an investigation. That's what you have police for. That's what you have investigators for. That's what you have lawyers for. They hire people to investigate, or they have investigated people at law firms. You don't post stuff on social media and be like, this is what it is and this is what, and then let the public tear apart this man's career. Like, you don't do that. And then try to backpedal and be like, well, we didn't really mean to make his career fall apart. And we just want him to admit to what? That he had a relationship with her? Or what? Like, admit to what and apologize. And then if he do admit and apologize, what's going to happen to him? Is he going to get sued? It's a no-win situation for this man. So if I was him, I would just sue everybody who's trying to defame me. I would just start being like, guess what? You can release the photos and video if you want to, but I'm going to sue you. So good luck. And the parents ain't got no money. So there you go. So I would just start threatening to sue folks. That would be me. But that's me. But that's neither here nor there. Like I said it and how this ties in with Suga and how I'm afraid for Suga when he makes his comeback because I feel like the Korean K netizens have not forgiven Suga and the aunties are going to come out full force once again on our poor Suga. And I just worry about his mental health. I worry about anybody's mental health in this situation. It is not fair. It is not right and it is not fair for somebody to make a mistake and never get forgiven for it. Kim Sae-ron made a mistake. She was never forgiven for it. Kim Soo-hyung may have made a mistake. I don't know or not. The jury's still out. And no matter if he apologizes or do whatever, I don't care if he pays the parents $1 million won. There are still people, it's not going to give his endorsements back. Is it going to save his career? The damage is done. For Suga, I don't know what he can say or do to get his career back in the eyes of Korea. Just like T.O.P. T.O.P. apologized. T.O.P. did everything he could, and they still hated on T.O.P. T.O.P. was in Squid Game too. They hated him because he was on Squid Game too. So to me, with Korean media and the Korean K netizens and the general populace, to me, there's a no-win situation for these people. So my suggestion would be don't apologize for nothing and deny, deny, deny. I'm not apologizing for nothing. I'm not making no statements. I'm gonna lawyer up. I dare one of y'all to say anything about me, or I'm gonna put out cease and desist letters to all of y'all on the internet. That's if I was Kim Sae-ron, that's what I would do. So that's my advice to him. But in the meantime, you guys, girl, K-pop home. I have to come and do a whole video about that. Girl, I thought I would let me say something before I get off this live stream. I read online. I was half asleep, y'all. I read online. Look, it was early in the morning. And I was like, and I read online. I thought I was dreaming it. What I read online that somebody like took Jungkook's stock and basically stole his Hive stock, stole his money, and transferred it to another account. Now they haven't released who this person is, who has done this. So, but Hive released a statement. I thought it was fake too. I was like, surely this is fake. Then I read it again. Then Hive released a statement. Big Hit or Hive released a statement saying that they found the person who did it. They have handled it. It was a breach in security in their company, and it was a breach of security. And they are investigated or whatever, and they have shut down the breach or whatever. And I thought it was fake. Now, this is a story that just broke. It just happened. And just happened, right? I want to know what's the story behind this. Yes, K-pop home. How? Okay, barring their system. Okay, the way it was written was kind of like their systems got hacked. But I'm like, okay, their system got hacked. But why would they go after Jungkook? If their systems got hacked, you would think somebody would have downloaded the money, the stock, period. Why would they download the stock options for Jungkook? So it makes it seems like to me, I agree with K-pop home, that this was somebody that knew him. Because I'm like, they're trying to act like it's some kind of data breach. Look, I work for a security company. We have a cyber crimes division. When people do a data breach, they go in there and they steal people's information. They don't download stock options to another account. That would be something that would be just way too easily traced and obvious. Why does it feel like someone in Hive is trying to sabotage Jungkook's career, especially kind of blue? I don't think there's no way in the world Hive would sabotage Jungkook's career. They make too much money off of him. He's intertwined with their money. They make too much money. It'd be like me having it. It'd be like me representing a client if I was a lawyer, and then me trying to sabotage my client. They're bringing me money. Jungkook, they're bringing the money, and this stock option thing has nothing to do with his career. This, I honestly believe, y'all, from what I know about data breaches, I'm going to say two things. Number one, I do feel like this is somebody that Jungkook knew, that knew his information, because like I won't get into the technicalities behind it with stock options, because there's a website and things even in Korea, like that you could go to, and you have to have logins, you have to stuff like that. So I do feel like this is somebody who either knew the group, either worked with them, or knew Jungkook. As to why this, second of all, the way they described it in the Hive statement, I'm like, if they transfer to another account, it's easily traceable. You can figure out who this person is. The way the message was so cryptic as to, you can tell that they didn't want to disclose who this person was. But I do believe this person is somebody who knows Jungkook pretty well. Either a manager or somebody executive, somebody who, in my opinion, in my honest opinion, when I read over this story again and again, and I read that statement, I'm reading between the lines. Data breaches don't happen like that. Not with one particular person. It is somebody that seemed like that either got his password, had his password to his stock account. I don't believe it. I don't believe this is like just like some oopsie data breach. I don't believe that. I believe somebody had access to that, and there and that possibly somebody who worked for Hybe or Big Hit. That's the only reason I could believe that they're being this cryptic about it. That this is somebody, maybe an accountant, maybe. My theory is the more I think about it, my intuition, my spider senses is tingling. K-pop home. You know, what if you say Hype says sugar? K-pop home, it's not. If they be like sugar, I'd be like, there's a rational explanation. Y'all know when it comes to sugar, I can't be too objectionable. I'm like, sure, there's a reason why he was in there. Surely, I'm gonna come here and try to cover it up a little bit. If they said it was sugar, I would just die. Like sugar has enough money. But I think this is honestly, I think this is an accountant. As somebody who's an accountant, I it just all makes sense to me. As somebody who's an accountant who works for for a security company, and we have cybercrimes division. I think this person's an accountant. I think this person works for Jungkook, either his private personal accountant or they work underneath Big Hit. Like I don't know what kind of deal. I'm sure, knowing the way the industry is set up, I'm sure they each all have their own private accountants and private lawyer. And I don't know if they would have a private lawyer. They should. BTS, if y'all listen to this, y'all should have your own legal. Y'all should have your own legal team besides what Hybe Big Hit are giving you. But I'm for sure 100%. I'm almost willing to bet anything that they have their own accountants because they have solo things and contracts and stuff like that. So I'm sure that they have their own accountants, and if they don't, they should. But I'm thinking that they have their own accountants. And so from what I read into the statement is that Jungkook has private accountants, and one of these private accountants was moving his money off. It wouldn't be the first time that this has happened to a famous person or a company. So that's how I took it. I took it that somebody is Jungkook's private accounting, or he has a firm that represents him, and one of these people were moving off money. I'm so worried about Suga's return. I don't know how things. We were talking about that. I don't know how things are going to return. People still they still hate Suga. People still hate Suga, and I was discussing in my life earlier that people don't understand what goes on behind the scenes. Yes, there's the netizens and the K-netizens and the bullies online and the antis in the Korean media. But I tell people, I said, behind the scenes, there's a whole nother world with K-idols behind the scenes that people don't understand. That behind the scenes, there things happen when you get into a scandal. People fall off. People who you think were your friends, you find out that they're not your friends. Family members will turn their backs on you. People that you've been cool with for a long time, that you've, been in the industry with, people you've collaborated with, will turn their back on you. So we just see the surface. We're like, oh, all these aunties and people are hating on him in the Korean media and he's getting funeral wreaths. That is not what I worry about. I worry about the fallout inside the industry. You understand what I'm saying? I worry about what happens in the industry because you're affecting Suga's livelihood. Because Suga's a composer, producer, rapper. He collaborates. He writes for a lot of people. He is or was in very high demand, even in the military. I can tell you that. I can say emphatically, from what I heard, now I'm not a gossip channel, from what I know and from what I heard from people I know that work in the industry, that BTS are still very much in demand, which is not, I'm not breaking any news here. It's obvious. BTS are very much in demand. Even when they're in the military, people still want to collaborate. People still are trying to ride that BTS gravy train regardless. But like I said, behind the scenes, I don't know Suga, but behind the scenes, there are things that are going on behind the scenes that we don't know, that are not nice to Suga. That are not nice. That are not nice. And like I said, I don't know this man. But I've heard general things about, people's attitudes change. Like once you have a scandal like that, people don't want to fuck with you no more. People don't want to be around you. People don't, People stop coming over your house. People stop returning your Kakao Talk messages. Not saying that, like I said, not saying that this has happened. I'm just telling you what I have heard and know from people who have had scandals in the industry, how quickly not only the public turns on you, but then behind the scenes people turn on you. People who you really thought were your friends in the industry, you get to see their true colors. They'll turn on you real quick. They'll because they don't want to be associated with you. Okay, K-pop home. Yeah, K-pop home. I did a whole video by Dear Alice, and actually, I'm in their fan group. Uh oh, they fans better not be. I don't know if you know. Yes, yes, yeah, I do know the SM group. I did a video about Dear Alice. I am actually in their fandom. I'm in their fandom. I won't. I'll say less. But I did a video about them. I did a video about Dear Alice, and I'm in their fandom. I've actually talked to several of their members. Well, their fans said they will be the next big thing, but they've only come out with one song so far. BTS is never flopping. I had to look. I had to look on the fan group. Which fan group? Because I'm in their Weverse group. I made a video because of me being in a fan group. But I like that song Ariana. I like it. But BTS is never flopping. BTS is pulls a lot of clout in the industry. Even though Suga, what happened to him, Western artists have not turned on Suga. I can say that. Western artists have not turned on Suga. They still want to work with Suga. So I can say that. UK artists, Western artists, they have not turned on Suga. Suga has gotten a lot of love from international artists and international fans, of course. So they have not turned on him. But it's hard because he lives in Korea. He is very much Korean. Um, so I don't know. I just it's written in the music video. Oh, the music video comments. Oh God. Do you think this comeback song will be in English again? Do I think BTS comeback song will be in English? Yes. I believe that it will be mostly English. I believe that BTS from now on will cater to a more um English international audience. BTS are so big now. I think they'll come out with an album, but I think like if when they come out with their music videos and their big songs, I think it'll be in English. And I think they'll have some songs that will be like in Korean and mixture in, but I think for their big songs that it's going to be in English cuz all of them have done English songs now. Jungkook has done English songs, Jimin has done English songs, J-Hope has swiveled his hips and done it will be since all the members all the members are doing English now. And so that gives hope to Suga, but I tell people the social stigma in Korea is so pervasive, even in the industry. Like you would think that BTS and Suga would be above all of this shit. Like you would really think that that would be it, but it is so pervasive in their culture. And when you're in this bubble of the K-pop industry and you're really in this bubble, and like I said, my opinion is I believe Suga very much is in this bubble, in that Korean bubble. Producers in Korea, I think most people Suga know are Koreans. And so I feel like, again, I'm not presuming that I know Suga, but just the things that I piece together, that he's very much in that bubble. I think RM is outside of that bubble because he speaks English. And I think RM is very traditionally Korean, but I think RM like is fluid. The people said that RM can literally leave Korea and go work in America like tomorrow. Like RM is that talented, and so is Suga. But RM different is that RM speaks the language. RM speaks the language, and I'm gonna say something very almost controversial. I think RM would do better in America because RM is very more American, like culturally aware of America than the rest of them. And I feel the same way about J-Hope. I feel that J-Hope and RM, out of everybody in BTS, I feel like those two are much more westernized in like their business dealings, like in their collaborations and who they know in the industry. I believe that J-Hope knows people in the industry in LA, and I believe that RM knows a lot of people in, well, a lot of Westerners in the industry. And I think that's one of the reasons why J-Hope went to LA to record and collaborate, because J-Hope, I think he has ties to people in LA, like more than all the rest of them. Now they may get out the military and just, Jungkook may be like, I'm going to America, see y'all. You know, um, RM can fit in America very well. Yeah, very well. Um, but yeah, like J-Hope, his English is coming around good. And I, like I said, I think J-Hope fits seamlessly into America. I think J-Hope is very, like, he gives off that vibe, that kind of more of a westernized vibe like RM does. Sugar gives off a very Korean vibe. And God knows Sugar is my ultimate bias, and I don't mind it at all. I love that about. I'm gonna tell you, one of the things I find very attractive about Min Yoongi is his Koreanness. I like that a lot. I like that a lot, that Min Yoongi is very Korean, and I like that. Like, I don't want him to be like a carbon copy of American rappers, and none of them are. But I can see that J Hope is much more, a little bit more westernized in his dress, and the way he talks, and the way he acts. And RM is very much westernized, like, yeah, J Hope. Yeah, street style reminds me of '90s. Yeah, he should. Yeah, his song Mona Lisa is very like a '90s R&B kind of flavor. I love it. I just said how much I love that song. Like, he made the song for me. I was like, this song is for me, girl. What? Like, I'm on board. I'm on board. Choo choo. I'm on the train. I'm on the J Hope train. But I feel that, like, you know, and I feel that Jungkook has the potential to be very westernized as well. I think Jungkook is very, very curious about the West. I think Jungkook is like, I want to dominate this space, and I want to be a global superstar. I think JK has the ambition and the talent to drive, I've said it over and over again, to be something really special. Hello, 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 hello. Oh, look, she's here, the woman of the hour. But I feel like JK has the talent in the position to be something very special. I think JK is the all-arounder. But because he had to go to the military, but I think JK and Jimin have, both of them have the potential to really, like, be global superstars, like Michael Jackson level. Like, Jungkook is something, is something very special. He's a very special person. Like, I think like a talent like Jungkook only comes every once in a while. I think it doesn't happen very often. It doesn't come very often. It's like a once in a lifetime, like star-crossed planetary alignment, kind of thing. Yeah, JK and Jimmy can both dominate. They have enough, they have the dance, the looks, the talent, the attitude to dominate. Especially JK. JK is such a dynamic person. Like, he is such like a dynamic. I think Jimin is a little bit more reserved and shy, but JK's my wild child. JK's my boo. He's my wild child, ladies. That's my wild child. JK to me is, I mean, and um, I don't mean like my sister-in-law said, carry on. And I don't mean wild child as like he's doing wild thing, but I mean wild child as like, I just feel like he has like this energy, this vibe that is so just like ready to dominate the world. Jungkook is your favorite. He should be a global superstar. Um, yeah, his Korean song sounds so much better. Yeah. My ringtone is Euphoria. You by Jungkook. That's my song right now. Is Euphoria. That's my song right now. Every month I get a song. I was like, oh, I hear a song and be like, I love it. Euphoria by Jungkook is my ringtone right now. But I love Jungkook. Like I said, he has to me the potential to really be something crazily special. And I think he has so much talent that it is like, if he could just, mature more in the industry and do more, and have the chance, since he won't be in the military, have the chance to do more. Jungkook could have did so much with Golden. Like, he just didn't have time. But I'm ready for Jungkook and Jimin to come out with new albums and see where they can go. And I want to see what direction Suga's gonna go in with his music. And I don't know, I don't, want Sugar career to be stuck. I don't want Sugar to be sitting up here moping and ducking and dodging press conferences because they're gonna ask him about the scooter stuff. They're gonna come for Sugar, y'all. They're gonna come for him. They're gonna come for him. I mean, we all just admit it and realize they're gonna come for Sugar. The moment he gets out the military, they're gonna clown him. They're gonna clown him. They're gonna ask him the same questions over and over again. They're gonna write articles because they're gonna do it for clicks and views. People are gonna write stories. People are gonna bring up the scooter shit all over again. It's gonna be this all over again. And so he must just face it head on. They're gonna come for him. Period. They're gonna come for him. So, you know, yeah, you got to have an identity. I think Lisa struggles with that too. I think all of Blackpink, except for Rose, I think Jennie and Lisa struggle with that. As much as I love Lisa and Jennie and wish them nothing but the best for Blackpink, Blackpink in your area, okay. As much as I think Blackpink struggles finding their own identity, finding their own niche in music. And like I said, it may take them a few albums before they find it, or they may never find it. I don't know, but I still see Lisa and Jennie struggling with like defining their music. Oh, Jennie knows what she wants. You think Jennie knows what she wants? I don't know, but her music, like I listened to her whole album, and it just was just kind of like all over the place. Like I was just like this sounds like R&B. This sounds like some electric rap. This sounds like techno. This sounds like it was just like I'm like, honey, I need you to pick a genre of music because in America that don't really fly. Like we like them to have, oh, Jennie is, yeah, I know Jennie is doing good. And I know her album, but I listened to her album and I like musically, there are a few songs on there I like, but it wasn't cohesive enough for me. I was just like, this is good. And then she did collaborations, and I like Lisa's album a lot more. Not saying that because I'm a Lisa stan, but just Lisa, to me, her album was much more cohesive. And Rose, I don't even like Rose's music, but I do listen to her album, and it was much more cohesive. I was like, okay, I see what she's doing. Like I see her style. But Jennie, I'm like, and Lisa, I'm like, yeah, I mean it's good, but in it, like once again, girl songs ain't my thing anyway. So y'all ladies can get up there and show me what it's like every single night. Yeah, like that's okay. It's just not my kind of music. Like it's all right. Kudos to Jennie. Jennie look good though. She looks so Blackpink look absolutely positively gorgeous to me. All of them, and I listened to Jisoo's album. Her album is very Korean, and it was like on top of the charts, like in Korea. But it's just not my thing either. I'm ready for Blackpink to just y'all stop playing. Y'all come together, and I need y'all to be talking about we the girls, we the girls, we the girls. I need them to come back, get that YG sound. I know they trying to get away from that and do their own thing, and I supply. So your sister love Jisoo. Yeah, I think they're all gorgeous, beautiful, gorgeous, talented young ladies that've been in the business for a long time. But I'm ready for them to stop playing and come back together. When BTS do their solo stuff, I'm happy. Like I'm excited to see what they do. Anybody else do solo stuff? I'm just like, oh, that's cute. Okay, Stray Kids did their solo stuff. I'm like, all right, okay, y'all, come on now. Like, oh, that's cute. That's nice. We can come on back now. Come on, Stray Kids, come on back. Come on back. ATs do they like little trios and groups, and they do their little stray stuff, and I'm like, then ATs do their little solo stuff, and I'm like, okay, that's cute. Come on back now, y'all. BTS do their solo stuff. I'm like, I love it all. Like I'll be like, oh, I like this. Oh, I like this. Oh, that's not my kind of music, but I appreciate it. And to me, BTS could all go their separate ways, and I for one wouldn't be unhappy. Like I'm not one of these fans that would be like crying because BTS broke up. To me, BTS got another 4 or 5 years. I feel like, in my opinion, from what I've learned and what I heard, I would say BTS got maybe another 4 or 5 years. And I feel like after that, they're going to be like, okay, we need to go our separate ways. It may even be before that. It may be in another 3 or 4 years. Like, they may choose to just focus on more solo stuff. And then they can come together and do a world tour but I just feel like this can't go on forever. I feel like all of them have had so much success solo that somebody in their group is sitting here going, you know what? I really just need to go out and do my own thing. And it may be JK, or they can do both, but I think it's going to be a lot for them to do both. Are you a big Blackpink fan, but you stand both groups? I like Blackpink. I'm not a big Blackpink fan, but I do like the YG sound. I can say I do like their music. Their music out of all girl groups out there, and I don't like many. It's an elite club to get in my top three. I don't like a lot of girl groups now, at least now these days. But Blackpink is my number one girl group. For someone who doesn't like girl groups. I try to listen to Le Seraphim and their new album. I haven't listened to a lot of it. I've listened to like three songs. And it's just not my that last Le Seraphim album. Le Seraphim shot up at the top. When Le Seraphim dropped they two albums, baby. When I keep telling y'all, when Le Seraphim dropped Easy, Easy literally changed my life. I had that song as my ringtone, no lie, for a year. Like I still listen to that song. If you go listen to our playlist, you will hear Easy and Smarter. Smarter, baby, smarter. Smarter, baby, smarter. Baby. Get it like boom, boom, boom. Get it like boom, boom, boom. That is my when I heard that song changed my life. I stopped. I said, who is this? I looked at the TV. I said, La Sarah. I was, who is this? Girl, they talking about I wish for what's forbidden. Baby, I was like, I wish for what's for. Girl, I ain't gonna lie. That was I got a whole Sugar soundtrack. That was on my Yoongi soundtrack. I was like, I wish for what's forbidden. Get it like boom, 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 baby. That was on my Yoongi soundtrack, baby. Woo! Oh my God, I'm a mess, mess, mess. Like even my kids like that song. My son liked that song. My son was like, I'm a mess, 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 mess. I'm a mess, mess, mess. Like my son would go around. He's like, this song is catchy. I'm like, right. We were like, get it like boom, boom, boom. Get like me and my son. That's the only K-pop song my son. Well, one of three K-pop songs my son really knows. He was singing in the shower. I was like, my son singing Le Seraphim in the shower. And then he would sing Easy. Let you let it get out of kiss me. He's like, that's a catchy tune. He's like, hey, I was like, right. This album, I'm like, all right, girls, I understand their sound has matured, but I still like whoever was producing their last couple of albums, they need to go back to that person because you can tell that this album is produced by somebody else. These are different producers, different writers. It's just, I mean, I'm not saying it's not good, but the Seraphim is good. They good. But I just did their new album, the three songs I listened to, I was just like, it's a little too like mellow, like Sabrina Carpenter. Like I'm not into that kind of music. I like the more like hip hop kind of stuff. Y'all know. You download their songs anyway, even though I think their B side is better. Their song that they did their last album, I didn't really like their last album. I mean, they had some catchy things, but that song Parole was the only song that I liked it. That song Parole, where my girls, where my girl. That's the Le Seraphim that I like. Parole is my song. That's the Le Seraphim that I know and love. That's the kind of music I want to hear from them. That song was a whole bop. It's like, where my girls? Where my girls? Where my girls? Like that's my kind of music. That other stuff they talking about all the girls are girling, girling. It's a house club kind of, I was ready to vogue, and that's okay, but it's really not my kind of music. But when they put out Parole, I listen to Parole all the time. That's a good B-side song. They B-sides went hard. Like they should have did a video for that. But I like Le Seraphim. I wish them nothing but the best luck. Like they are doing like grown woman kind of music. Like I admit it. And they reinventing themselves and trying to do something different. And they're trying to be global. And so I understand why they music, why they sing in mostly English. But like I'm burning hot. Like that's okay. But girl, do your thing. Young Posse gives me life. There's a song that they sing. I forgot the name of the song, but it stays in rotation. Young Posse gives me life. Young Posse give me life. They're in my top three girl groups. It's like XG, Young Posse, Le Seraphim, and Blackpink. They up there. Young Posse give me life. Like I said, I didn't wear that song out. I did I will wear Young Posse out like that. That is my group. Like I listen to their music all the time because it's much more hip hop, much more the style of music that I like, and the way they dress is much more like the style of music I like. Oh, your favorite is Twice. Twice is a real girl group, like a real girl group. You feel like Young Posse is above XG for you now? I agree. I still love XG, but I feel like Young Posse then kind of like passed them up. I agree. I like Young Posse a lot, and I like XG, but I do feel like Young Posse is kind of like past them. I can't think of any bad song that Young Posse's done. And then I learned that Young Posse like a lot. Some of their songs are produced by BM of Card, so that would explain a lot. Cause I love BM of Card. I absolutely love BM of Card. Card's on tour right now, and they came to Dallas. But I was really sick and I couldn't go. Y'all know I was struggling. You know, girl, I could barely talk. But I learned that BM like all the songs that that I really like from Young Posse is the ones that BM produced. And so I love BM. BM is so talented. He's composer, producer, writer. BM of Card is very talented. He's produced a lot of songs. And he came out with a solo album too that actually did good. And he kind of did like a little mini tour for his songs. And he did a song with Jay Park. Um, that whole BM album was fire. I'm telling you, he does a song called Bad Girls like this, like that. Bad Girls. He did oh my God. If y'all have not listened to BM, that album he came out last year was fire. He did a song with Jay Park. Oh my God, that was some grown and sexy music there. I was like, that whole album was fire. Like and it was big on the Korean charts. Like it charted pretty good, considering they're from like a little company. The Young Posse songs are always good. Did you see this small mama stage they perform? Yeah, BTS started small too. No, I have not seen the small stage. I haven't seen it. Young Posse and like I said at XG to me are the Arab, like the female heir apparents, real heir apparents to BTS. Like they started, doing hip hop and stuff and like that, and that's what I liked. I liked about BTS, but I like a lot about BTS. But I do the Young Posse is good. Card is I will represent Card till I die. Card is one of the few first K-pop groups I started liking. They're the second. TXT is the first. TXT will always get my support, and Card will always get my support. Like I will always support. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a YouTube short about Card because Card don't get enough love. They're a mixed group, and Card is everything to me. Like they started me down on this K-pop train. Like I went to a Card concert and fell in love with them. I was like, who is this group? And Card has got some bangers. Like they got that hard hitting like Latin infused hip hop shit. BTS were the underdogs. They were always the underdog. The main groups performed on huge stage. The Posse got to perform on a small ass stage. Oh no. Well, they gotta start somewhere, girl. I'm not gonna hate. Yeah, BTS were underdogs for a long time. That's why I like their story. That's like I said. I fell in love with BTS because of their story. That's what I fell in love with, their story. I fell in love with Sugar because I watched them run BTS episodes and I was like, that's I was like, oh, that's my man right there. Like every time I would hear Sugar do interviews, whether they be in Korean, I would like listen to what he was saying, and then I watched a documentary about Sugar. The more I knew about Sugar, the more I fell for him. Like I was like, this, because JK, was cute, and I was like, ah. And then RM is so cool and so cerebral and like kind of like the kind of guy I would date in real life would be like RM, but Sugar, it was something about Sugar. Like I just was drawn to him. Every time I watch him, I'll be like, "Where is Sugar?" My eyes be like this. I'm like, "There's Sugar." Like like the faces he would give and his attitude. I was like, "Oh, that's so me." That's just me in the corner, just like I gotta do this shit again. I can tell something about Sugar just don't feel like he had the day to day. They started performing in clubs. Yes, yeah. I fell in love with BTS story. I still have not. I discover songs every week. I'm just sitting here listening to random BTS songs because I have not listened to all their music, and I keep saying I'm gonna start listening to music from beginning to end. And I think I'm gonna start that in April, where I'm gonna go listen from beginning to end because I have not listened to all their music. And I discover new songs. I discovered like Love Maze, Euphoria. Like these are songs I didn't know that even my phone shut off, y'all. So I really do apologize, y'all. But what was I gonna say? Um I think that's it. So, you guys have a great day. Peace.